simulation racing, association featuring online leagues like the DSR Electric, Blanchard towing and recovering Xfinity, concerns of police survivors. Jacob and Wesley bringing you all the commentating. Is there beef? Is there beef? This racing is so exciting. That rock the Nasher network. That Biggles cracking them up in the background. It is racing at Atlanta.
Well, folks, we are at Rockingham. Sorry we're a little bit late on that one, but apparently iRacing kind of screwed up a little bit and kind of threw us for a little bit of a curveball. But here we are at Rockingham for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, SimRacerHub.com 200. Drivers are getting ready to get going right here, so we'll try to run through the grid very, very quickly for you folks right here. Obviously, Rockingham, this is exactly where the truck race was ran earlier today, so we'll run through at least the top 20 and try to help y'all out. MDW starts on the pole. Dustin Scruggs second. Holden McGill third. Ryan Johnson fourth. Jonathan Cofield fifth. Raul Meza sixth. Merck will start seventh. Nick Sacco will start eighth. Tyler Daniels will start ninth. And Tristan Bruce will start 10th. Hell, that's as far as we're going. Here we go. Pace truck is off. Green flag is in the air, folks. On the Redneck Announcer, Jake Reeves, the Australian Dean Hopton Biggles producing and co-commentating with me tonight. Oh, this is going to get good. Wood dives it down into turn 1 and 2. Scruggs up on the top side. Got to be careful off turn 2, Dean. We already see a couple of them already getting up into the fence.
Hello, Jacob. Hello, everybody. Yes, exactly. There's a few things that are still being sorted out at the moment because, iRacing is throwing an absolute spanner in the wrench on this one. So bear with us, Jacob. MDW in the lead.
Absolutely. Wood trying to see if he can hold it down. Obviously, Wood very, very fast, very strong right here. Scruggs right in behind him. McGill sitting in the third spot. Tiny Horse back in the fourth spot. And now a couple of them starting to work their ways around the track. Caution is out. We got a spinner back there in the back. And it looks to be one of maybe Jordan Durasic. I'm not 100%. Actually, no, that's Brandon Broadfoot, the 22, going around.
Brandon has had a little memento, my friend. We'll get back and have a look at the replay on that one when I get a second to sort that out as well. Drivers, you're going to give me a little bit more time, please. Thank you. I play my racing.
Oh boy, I got a feeling right now it's going to be a good one next week when we do the behind the mic on the door banging download for next week's episode because Dean has already expressed his
yeah. When can I get a visit to the studios, please, iRacing? Yeah, so I can have a few words.
Well, let's see what happens. There we go. Points Poppers instant replay. We'll see what happens to Mr. Broadfoot going through 1 and 2. Everything looks fine. For Broadfoot, you see Jordan Durasic right there behind him. Obviously, you got the 7 right behind him. It's Kevin Edwards. And watch Jordan Durasic right here. We'll see what Broadfoot does. Broadfoot, hell, he just comes straight down across his nose. Ends up spinning himself out. One driver up top barely snuck by that accident right there. I believe that was Stephen Gregory in the 61, but he snuck by it. Broadfoot ends up being all the way up against the wall, locks it down, holds the brakes, and everybody shoots by him.
Stephen Gregory on board. The Bose D's Moonshine, where he hides the moon. Oh, you can see just goes there, clips him. Save it, son. Oh, that's very difficult to save on the inside. In fact, it does, Jacob. Half spin. That Moonshine kicked in, mate, and slowed that truck down a little bit there. And okay, take that to Jacob. Jacob, just give me your address, mate, there. He can roll that Moonshine across to you.
Yeah, that's some good driving right there by Gregory to lock it down, not slide all the way up the racetrack, and kind of get himself in a little bit of a pinch. We was going to go to a commercial break, but we're going to sit right here because this track, folks, is not that big. It's only a mile long. So these pace laps is going to go by very, very quickly. MDW, he still assumes the lead. Try to get you through a little bit and let you know some of the race details if we can.
No,
let everybody know kind of what we're aiming for here. And like I said, iRacing is through us all for a curveball. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Nate.
yeah, I'll let you know. It'll throw it up there. But we stage 1 will go to lap 60. And stage 2 will go to 125. But it'll be green at stage 2. So that's a big run for a total lap of 200. 50% fuel capacity, Jacob. So cut that tank in half, mate. So they should be lighter as well, but can't go as long.
Yeah, and the big deal about it also, folks, is 4 sets of tires. This place very notorious for eating tires alive, and obviously unlimited attempts at green, white, checkered attempts if need be. MDW drives it down to the inside, fires off into turn 1 and 2. Everybody's still good. Way back here on the back, nobody doing anything crazy. They're going to get back single file. Wood, Scruggs, now he's already been bypassed. McGill got around him for that second spot, and Raul Meza trying to work this outside lane, currently sitting back in the 5th position.
It's Tiny Horse making a little bit of move at the moment there. Baral Massa are on the green machine on the outside. That's the 37. Jeff Merck always in it. Old Pookie's going to make his way up to the front if he possibly can. They're followed by T. Bruce and Coalfield, who's down a couple of places, but early days in this 41 trucks at the moment. Field.
Yeah, he's a lot of he's a lot of trucks, and folks, sorry if we wasn't able to get your driver's name called. There is a lot of drivers in the field, but like I said, we started a little bit late, but we are here, we are live, and we are ready to rock and roll here tonight. Raul Meza, you see him, he already started in the 6th spot. Jeff Merck already up 2 spots, has already shot around Meza, put him back where he started. Cofield is actually trying to be back on the climb. He started 5th. Now he's trying to work his way to get up here into the 7th spot. But, I mean, there's a couple of big movers out there. Nobody really making a huge amount of gains, though, Dean. This place is a 1-mile racetrack. It doesn't, I mean, it's always got the action. This place is always big on the tire wear. It looks like somebody may have had a little bit too much tire wear with a 14. Matthew Cummins, let's see what happened to him right here going into 3 and 4. Was there contact? Did he just snap loose? What happened to Mr. Cummins right here? Yeah, Cardenas. Damn, he just spun him out. He just got him in the left rear, spun him around. Race control did not call that one right there. So no caution on the Speedway, and we are staying green with Wood with the lead.
Here he is up the road. You can just see, I think there at the moment, the number 14 truck. Yep, race control said that's okay. A bit of bumping and grinding is racing. And that's unfortunate for him, but he did save. I'll just park it in victory lane there and do some burnouts there and go, woohoo, I've just won the race. He's right there in victory lane.
Bumping and grinding. I'm not even going to go there. Wood up here still has the lead. McGill still sitting in the 2nd spot. Scruggs, Johnson. Jeff Merck has jumped up here and got himself up in the top 5. There's MDW. Matthew David Wood, young kid, obviously has made a name for himself here in Nazareth, doing a fantastic job right now. I mean, this kid right here is lightning fast. Each and every week we come out and we watch him here for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series and the Friday Night Series with Nazareth. Jeff Merck, one of the, I guess you could say, veterans, not necessarily a veteran per se, as say Keith Bradley or others, but he has, he's about the only man I know, Dean, that has won the championship in his rookie season. I'm sure there was others, but here you go, Jordan Jurassic. Speaking of champions, last season's champion, Jurassic and Newton. This is just outside the top 15 with these guys battling.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the Murph's Magical Creations unicorn on the back there, and Jordan Jurassic a little bit further down, who's racing at my time at the moment over in Korea. Dustin Scruggs, Ryan Johnson looking to make a run here on the 11 truck. Just on the outside and the inside there is Ryan Johnson, the 38. Tiny Horse. I think he's got the job done. And he has at the moment. Let's Scruggs get a good run out of the corner. If he doesn't, works on his tailpipe.
Yeah, Scruggs right there kind of got off the wall right there. Merck almost got him in the left rear and about spun him around. Lap truck way back here on the back. That's still Matthew Cummins, who's just now hitting the line. He was the one that got spun around a while ago by your Martinsville winner, Dylan Cardenas. So Cummins end up going a lap down here very, very soon. Jeffrey Sickles is already out of the event. 13 laps down. He has called it an evening early here this evening. There you see Scruggs right there, literally fixing to, just come down and just try to chop block Merck going into 3. Try to put the whole block on Merck. Merck not giving up. Scruggs now trying to hold that spot. Good hard racing right now. Very early on here in this race, though, Dean, but still good hard racing and everybody being respectful. Is that just as soon as I say that, we got a caution.
Devin Painter. As the, I was going to say the bunny rabbit there. Well, rabbits are fast, aren't they? So we'll see how that pans out. But what happened to Devin Painter will be the question. The second question of the day.
Let's see what happened to Mr. Devin Painter in the 99. All of it coming off of turn number 4. There you see Painter right there on the outside of the racetrack, or excuse me, inside of the racetrack right there on the bottom side of Thomas Kohick. Just kind of comes up, got tight. Kohick was there, got him in the right rear, spins Painter around. Painter gets a little bit of nose damage. Everybody looked like they shot by him, and everybody was able to lock it down, not run into Painter. It's a good deal on everybody on that. One more time. There you see Painter had that run, got below Kohick. Kohick gets tied off of 2. That opened the door for Painter to jump down to the inside and try to make a run at him. And then after that, he just ended up getting tight. Coming off turn 4, came up and ended up cleaning himself out. So Devin Painter had to go all the way to the back, probably go in and get some damage repaired here this evening, here tonight at Rockingham. Well, folks, we have not yet had the opportunity yet to thank some of our sponsors, so let's go ahead and hook you up with that. Let's hear from some of the great sponsors here with Nashville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at Rockingham.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Well, folks, we're back here at Rockingham getting ready for a little double up on the restart right here. Tyler Daniels, Stephen Gregory, Adam Newton, a couple of drivers decided to stay out on the racetrack. Dane Hagan, Hunt Wigington, Buzzy Mongo, Matthew Lee. Looks like those 7 stayed out on the racetrack. Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson, Jeff Burt, Dustin Scruggs, and MDW. Those guys elected, or those drivers, I should say, politically correct. Those drivers decided to go down pit road and get some service. So let's see how this ends up working out. A little bit early on right here, coming to lap 21. Green flag in the air, big stack up, huge stack up on the outside. Buzzy Mongo in the 97 did not go. We got a spinner. Bevan's involved. Drassic's involved. Also the 37 of Raul Meza, he is involved. And we got another parking lot, Dean.
Yeah, we do. Let's have a look how it started. Didn't even start across the line, I would imagine, there, Jacob. But let's have a look. Do you think around Jordan Drassic there? Maybe Stephen Thomas?
Yeah, it was up at the front. I think it might have had something to do with the 97. I think Buzzy Mongo might have spun the tires up there at the front. See kind of what happens right here. There wasn't, I did see there for a second, Dustin Scruggs' whole back end was straight up nailed. And this whole outside lane just straight up stacks up hard right here.
Yeah, there it is up the road.
We'll see. Wow, there it goes right there. There you see Bradley Buff right there in the 31 right there. The Starbase Comics truck right there was able to sneak by it just ever so slightly. A couple of others just got straight up rammed in the back end. There you see the bumper tagging taking place. Jurassic whole outside lane stacks up. Jurassic hits the wall hard. Bevan gets involved as well. There's the Admiral Keith Bradley. See if he decided to see if he made it by it. Is there you see the whole stack up there with Mongo just straight up spins the tires. He ends up losing ground, and they were running him over trying to get him going. Kevin Edwards right there, he gets stacked up as well. I mean, I mean, Dean, you're going to get that right here at Rockingham. I mean, the track temp's not as high as we've seen it in the past, where it be up in like the 120s or something like that. It's only 84. But at the same time, these guys up front, they got old tires. These other guys, like Jeff Merck, MDW, Cofield, all those guys, Matt Cherry, all them guys, they went in, they got service, they got tires. Okay? This is going to happen right here if you spin the tires like this right here. I mean, you're going to end up getting this right here. See, Meza just trying to check up. Hell, he gets run over. Everybody diving down to the inside trying to find a way around it. But that's going to happen right there on old shoes. Drivers is going to spin the tires, and that's something that you got to be watching out for.
Got to get them temperature, as you mentioned. Let's have a look at the track temperature at the moment as well, too. Wow, everything is broken. Look at that. Even the Rockingham Speedway weather conditions is just a little slant, little leany to the right. Yeah.
Looks like it's getting jacked up on the side of it, getting ready for a pit stop. That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah.
Can't get the jack out on the left side, so he's stuck at the moment and has kept it like that. I've got to take a screenshot to get this resolved there. It's been
send it dive racing and see what they say.
No, it's a software that I use, overlay.
Oh, folks, hopefully each and every one of you are enjoying your Friday night. Obviously, this being Good Friday, so if you do celebrate, with your loved ones, if you do celebrate that, then, be safe celebrating that as well. And obviously Easter is this Sunday, so, if you celebrate that as well, enjoy time with your families and remember why it is Easter. It's not for the Easter Bunny. We all know why it is for what it is. Here we go. Tyler Daniels up on the front row. Pace lights us out. Stephen Gregory up there as well. Remember, green. Stephen Gregory was able to just shoot by Brandon Broadfoot a while ago and just be able to get up here and get in this situation. Now he's up here in that second spot. Newton in third. Then you got Lee back here in fourth. Hup Wellington goes all the way to the top, 3 wide, looking going into turn number 1 and 2. Everybody sliding by Wellington. Lee was able to get by him. He's going after, I believe, Newton now for that third spot. But a huge traffic jam back here. Tristan Bruce, Cofield, everybody working their way through 3 and 4. His battle for the lead is on. Gregory to the inside of Tyler Daniels.
Around the outside, if you can make it sticky, certainly has Stephen Gregory in P2, Matt Lee, Adam Newton. Now, a couple of these drivers, remember, have not taken pit stops, so I'll try to show that graphic if that's not broken as well. But you'll see the length, there it is, full 25 laps there. So Lee at the moment, Matt Lee was the one that boxed back on lap 3, and then the other drivers boxed on that lap 8 for that caution that came out, first caution of the day.
There you see right there, Lee trying to work it around the outside, shades of Eminem. I cannot believe I just said that at all. Here we go, Newton gets into the back of Lee, almost knocks him sideways. Merck's going to go round the outside, see if he can make something happen. Daniel still has the lead. Lee takes it down to the inside now of Gregory. He's going to kick him up top. Merck's going sideways. He's able to save it. Newton had to get out of the gas. There's the 38 of Tiny Horse Ride Johnson. He'll go by as well as Matt Cherry. Merck, what a save by the number 60. Almost ended up snapping loose, and we almost had another pile up in 1 and 2, Dean.
That's absolutely impressive there for Merck to do that. I'd say just as much as wrecks that you can get in there, it's also those wrecks that you can potentially avoid as well too. And the other drivers of that awareness, seeing that he was about to perhaps go around, Merck says, old Pookie controlled that one and dropped him back to P6. He's still very much in this race.
Yeah, Pookie able to hold on to it the best way that he can, and now he's going to be able to get back in front of Tiny Horse Ride Johnson. Cherry's going to be back there as well as old Pookie Jr., Tristan Bruce. Still got a little bit of tailgate damage from the whole stack up on the outside lane. Stephen Thomas rounding out the top 10. He started 36. Now he's up here inside the top 10. Brady LaBeouf trying to work his way up here in the number 31. Started 28th. He's up to 14th right now. But Tyler Daniels, who started 9th, he's still got that lead. Lee's still trying to work him over, figure out wherever he can go, any way that he can go. Slip back here and you see Jonathan Cofield talking about those guys a second ago with Stephen Thomas. Mentioned them. They're battling it out right here for this last stage point, Dean, that these guys will be going after here in a number of laps. There you see it going all the way to 60. These guys battling it out for that last stage point. at the end of lap 60. There you see Tyler Daniels now getting a little bit of a battle with Matthew Lee. Matthew Lee will go to the front. Daniels goes back to second, and here comes Matthew David Wood in 3.
He's looking at old McDonald had a computer of Tyler Dave Daniels on the outside, and there it is. Confident with those tires. Confident MDW. And there it is. He's now going to challenge Matt Lee, who did go down a pit road. I keep saying box equals pit, down in lap 3 on that first caution that we had, actually. The second caution, I think, was lap 8. I'm all confused at the moment there, Jacob, but we have had 2 cautions. Make that 3. Right on cue. Thank you, Isaac Bevan.
Boy, you jinxed the heck out of that one right there. You just nailed that one right on the money. Isaac Bevan in the 27 you're talking about ended up going around. Let's see what happens to the 27. He's sitting down on pit road right now, 2 laps down. The lap traffic playing a little bit of a factor right here at the 1 mile oval of the Rockingham Speedway. See what happens. It goes all the way down the bottom. Damn, they were 4 wide. Dustin Scruggs comes down, doors him, knocks him sideways.
Now, was he across the line?
Wow.
He is? That's
I
kind
mean,
of...
he's on the bottom.
Yeah,
I mean,
there he's on the bottom. But he comes back up. That's going to be interesting. That's definitely one for race control to look at. Now, because, you know, if you're off if you're in the inside of the racing line, you're like, I'm getting out of everybody's way. He comes back up. But then again, you got to say, too, isn't it, that the other truck came into him as well. So 6 to 1, half a dozen to another on that one, because there's enough space. Look at how much space there is on the inside there. Of course, he's battling in the background. You watch. So we're keeping an eye at the moment on Isaac Bevan. 0 is 0. I don't know if there's enough space. 11 says, I'll go between them all. No, he cuts straight down in the inside for the 11. And that's Dustin Scruggs. So we'll have a look at Dustin Scruggs. We'll back it up a little bit at his speed. And Jacob, you can give me a driver's perspective of what happened here. So Dustin Scruggs on the outside at this point here. Man from the music, pretty much one of the music capitals of the United States of America, Nashville, Tennessee. So he's going to swing it all the way down to the left-hand side here and then go, that's a last-minute reaction, isn't it?
Well, I mean, he thinks Bevan's going to stay down on the bottom side. You saw smoke right there going through 3 and 4. Bevan already snapped loose. And so Scruggs trying to get down to the inside. He thinks that Bevan is sitting there thinking, okay, well, all this lead lap trucks is shooting by me right now. I'm going to, Scruggs is assuming he's going to stay down on the bottom of the racetrack and just let everybody shoot right by. But then Bevan goes from the bottom, jumps back up to the top, and ends up getting into him right there. And, I mean, I see Scruggs' point out of that. I will see Dustin Scruggs' point, so I don't believe he will get the EOL. He shouldn't get the EOL. Because when you're going around lap traffic like that, I've heard it 9 times out of 10. I've heard it before that the lead lap trucks are supposed to watch out for the lap trucks, the lap down trucks. The lead lap trucks are supposed to watch out for the lap trucks because you're faster than them. Well, I think about it the other way around. The lap down trucks are supposed to be watching out for everybody else that's racing for position. At least that's how I feel about the whole deal. So the way I look at it, he went down. All right, Bevan goes down, but then he comes back up. Scruggs is trying to take it 4 wide. I put that one on Bevan, so, that's just me. There you see your race details, obviously, going all the way to 60, then 125, and then going to 200. Remember, Stage 2 will stay under green, 4 sets of tires. 50% fuel capacity could play a huge factor into this race here this evening. So, basically, it's half a tank, folks. Usually, they would go full tank of gas is 18.7 gallons here on these trucks. That is dead on. Actually, I've raced these trucks a lot, so I know that it is 18.7, right on the money. So half that will be 9.3. Some of you want to pull out a calculator, by all means, go for it. But 9.3, so give or take, you got to look at about 60 laps on a full tank of fuel. Or on half a tank of fuel, however you want to look at it. So that's what they're looking at right here. And obviously you see the 4 sets of tires, unlimited green, white, checkered attempts, and obviously starting in the morning time. But those 4 sets of tires will play a huge factor into who wins this race, who's going to finish on the podium, who's going to finish top 5, top 10. Mark my words, because this place, like I said, it ain't repaved or it may be repaved a little bit. But obviously, this place is a tire cheese grater. We'll just put it to you that way. Wood, gas is up, green flag in the air. Merc up top, goes back down to the bottom. Taddy Horse will follow him down on the bottom side. Tristan Bruce down on the bottom side will make it work as well. Cherry up top. And here comes Jonathan Cofield trying to make something happen. Thomas going to slip back, but everybody, couple of them up top, Dean, but a lot of them down there on that bottom side, down in the cellar where Grandpappy had the moonshine.
There it is. I knew you'd be hiding it somewhere. We're lap 39 at the moment, 162 to go, but in our stage break, we will get down to lap 60. And we're doing okay there, Jacob. So almost 40 laps in, and you guys haven't started talking about football. Well, that's only because it's just me in here with you. I'm just waiting for a football reference somewhere along the line. Maybe
baseball.
somebody in the chat could throw us all baseball references now, is it?
Yeah, football season's over with.
Oh, well, basketball also in the playoffs. All right, how about those Clippers?
Ain't nobody watch it. Ain't nobody watch NBA anymore. NBA went out of style back when Michael Jordan retired. NBA went out of style then. That's my opinion. I'll probably get some hate out there in the live chat for it, but that's at least my opinion of the NBA. So, yeah, absolutely.
Jacob
We're
loves
talking
the
about
NBA.
baseball right now. It's baseball season. No, I do not.
No driver
Not
putting
anymore.
tonight. Sorry, that's broken as well. I'd say thank you, iRacing. All right. Gotta love you.
Folks, real quick, if you haven't yet, like and subscribe to the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. We're making it.
No.
It is. There it is. See, that's working. But obviously, if you love the entertainment that we got going on, that the racing's got going on, this is the best that NASRA has to offer right here. This is literally the flagship series right here on the Friday Night Series. The Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. And just as soon as I say that, we have another Surf Pro caution. Somebody else spun it out coming down the backstretch. And caution's out once again, Dean.
Brandon New, I think it was, yes. No, I'd just like to say, iRacing, thank you very much for the notification email to say, yes, we are aware that you broadcast 3 races a day, and we would like to let you know about some new changes that are upcoming there, and even if you'd like to test it before it goes live and then give us some feedback, would be absolutely appreciative. Thank you. That's all that I would love to get from iRacing, so that we can be prepared for any updated changes. Well, get prepared at the moment to see what happened to Brandon New.
Oh, Dean. You poor man.
Nice little courtesy email would be great. Just to letting you know about some changes that you're going to be making for broadcasters specifically that do this all the time, 3 times a day. Would be lovely.
It would be. There's New right there.
Ooh.
Jurassic. Wow, he just comes down. And, Jordan Jurassic out there in the driver chat sitting there saying that his screen went completely black. So, obviously, there was no intent right there between him and Brandon New. But it looks like New's already pulling in the pits, and he may be done for the evening. And see it once again on the replay. Dean, you talking about the whole deal. Dean, I got a feeling first time this evening we got to put it out there. We got beef right here. I think we got beef. I think we have beef, Dean.
Yeah, Jordan Jurassic. But why do you lift off, Jordan? I guess you're coming up to a corner as well, so you might have to lift off. I've had that situation actually, and it still happens to my monitor actually. The Samsung Odyssey gaming widescreen, ultra widescreen monitor. It comes up with some sort of screen optimization message, and you have to actually reach behind the monitor there and go turn off. Otherwise, it goes blank and does its optimization BS. And there's no way to get rid of that. So you hope that didn't happen.
That wasn't the beef I was. Well, yeah, but that wasn't the beef I was talking about. I was talking about you having the beef with iRacing. Yeah.
No, I have the beef with iRacing all the time, my friend. Yeah. Thank you, iRacing. I'm paying for this.
Oh Lord. Well, anyway. Which I kind of see Dean's point, but I will see the point of Brandon New. Obviously, he's not going to be too pleased with everything that happened right there with Jordan Jurassic and everything. But hey, I mean that happens, like you were talking about, Dean. Screens go black, and that happens, and it will happen. So we'll see what happens right here with MDW, Jeff Merck, Taddy Horse, Tristan Bruce, Keith Bradley, the animal up here in this mix as well, and we'll see how this. See how this plays out right here, Dean. A little bit of a I guess you could say a little bit of a sprint right here, 15 laps on a 1 mile track. So 15 miles is what they got to go right here to close out stage number 1. Jeff Merck has made a lot of gains right here. Bradley's made some gains too. Stephen Thomas all the way from 36th up to 7th. Brady LaBeouf 28th up to 9th. So he's up here making some gains as well. His green flag is in the air, and Newton up on the top side. LaBeouf gets loose going down the back chute. But Wood holds down the lead. Merck right behind him. Remember, Dean, I mean, not trying to stir the pot, but these guys, they have beef last season, if I'm not, or correct me if I'm wrong, they had beef last season at Bristol. So still no love lost right there between MDW and Jeff Merck.
Oh, good. I love beef. What's for dinner? Bit of beef, maybe on track or not. We'll see if the drivers have. But you got to remember too, Pookie and Pookie Jr., they had beef in the past. Now they're teammates. So they're frenemies. T-Brew's currently running in P5 at the moment. You see the battle between Stephen Thomas and Keith Bradley, the animal. But who knows? He'll shake hands later, and say all is well. As there's a bit of door banging at the moment there. At the moment, that's the 23 of Stephen Thomas into the animal, who's getting his claws out.
I mean, that was some straight up door banging right there, and they are still going at it. Thomas, Bradley, racing like all get out, literally going back into turn 1. Thomas dives down, tries to make it stick. Bradley up top, almost more door banging. Cherry tries to jump up, tries to help Bradley get this outside lane to advance. And now Bradley going to rip the lip on the top side, get the run, and try to get away from Thomas. Meanwhile, right up in front of him, Ryan Johnson, Jonathan Cofield, Jeff Merck, they're going at it for that second spot. Cofield trying to jump down to the inside of Jeff Merck. Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson, last season's Xfinity Series champion. He's up here in this mix as well. Wood up there, he is checking out almost a second over these guys with 10 to go in stage 1. Cofield goes to the outside. Merck down on the bottom side. Johnson there as well. And Tristan Bruce about a half a second back from them, sitting in the 5th spot. But big time racing right now for that second spot between all three of them. Cofield, Merck, and Johnson.
Somebody's going to get the grader out there and grate this track. Look at the bumps in it. Bum, 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 bum. It's like you're going over a bridge. Jeez, that's going to be a little tricky to drive too, especially when you're cornering at these speeds that these drivers are doing. But yeah, get in there, get some bit of door banging out there. Give them a turn if you need to, my friend. Then a little bit further, that's the battle. There's still battles absolutely everywhere on the track at the moment, Jacob. We still have 8 laps to go on our stage break, but it's heating up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to heat up, obviously, here at the Rock. I mean, a lot of people would look at this as we see the battle for third with Merck and Johnson going on. And Dan, a lot of people would, I talked to a lot of people about this. A lot of people would classify this as a short track. Some would not classify it as a short track. They would call it just a regular speedway, like, say, Texas and others, because there is those speed differences where you can go about 160 miles an hour. Going into turn 1, you'll see it right here with all these guys. Obviously, back here on the back, guys battling it out. There's the 42 with John Freeman, the new man in town. All of them working away in turn 1. They will get up to about 160 miles an hour, give or take. Well, same thing as at Dover. Dover's a mile long. But I classify it as a short track just because of the, the action that you see here at the Rock. I mean, it's not that wide. It is a mile long. So the way I look at it, if it's less than a mile and a half, to me, it's a short track. But I will say this, I am very, very happy to see NASCAR come back to the Rock. I watched a little bit of the truck race earlier today. Seemed like it was a very, very good show. The Xfinity race tomorrow will be an absolute blast for the Saturday afternoon race, so that'll be good to see. But, I mean, I love this place right here. I love racing here on iRacing and other games. This place right here is a blast to drive, and I'm so happy to see NASCAR come back to racing here at the Rock.
Are they racing this weekend? Are they racing the Xfinity and the trucks? Or
yes,
the Cup Series?
Yes, sir. They race the trucks.
Yeah.
No Cup.
No Cup, but the Cup's coming back, or just the trucks?
Just the trucks and
okay.
Xfinity. Xfinity races tomorrow.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, at least so that answers my question about whether or not they are actually still going to this track. So, yeah.
They raced yesterday.
Oh!
Here we go, baby. Battle for the lead is on. Cofield, Wood. Cofield might have snuck in the back door when Wood wasn't looking. Here we go. Wood able to gas up and get away. Cofield run him down. Johnson, Bradley, they're back there holding it down for third and fourth. Mert got bypassed by both of them. He goes to fifth. Cofield, Wood, door to door, stride for stride into three. Cofield's still down on the bottom side. Wood up top, racing old school style right here at Rockingham. That's what we love to see, Dean.
AMDW. Last lap, Jacob. Can he get the stage win?
And got 2 to go right here. Cofield's got to be able to try to get him. Remember, we go to the end of lap 60. And we'll see how this works right here. Wood off the corner. Wood tries to see if he can get clear. And he is going to try to get away. One last shot right here. Try to make it stick. Cofield throws it in the fence. Tried to get up, arc the corner. He may end up having a run going into 3 and 4. Cofield on the bottom. Wood up top. Wood's going to try to give him. They're going to have a photo finish to decide stage 1. But no, Wood able to get the run off 4. MDW will win stage number 1. Jonathan Cofield will get second. Ryan Johnson will get third. Keith Bradley will get fourth. And Jeff Mert will round out the top 5 for stage number 1. And now the serve pro caution comes out. Whew! I'm telling you, Dean, I'm telling you, baby, if we see that right there at the end for stage 3, it will be a successful night, because that right there, that's some driving, that's some racing.
That's how you get it done. MDW getting it done as well. Oh, racing for Christ, my friend. It's a good day to get your stage win as well, too. See if we can races for Christ. See if we can get it done on this holiday. Well, for you guys, actually, over there. Get the race win. We'll have a chat to him, actually, very, very soon, Jacob. But they're going to, no doubt, go down a pit road. Remember, 50% fuel capacity, so you would imagine they're going to take that, wouldn't they, Jake? So I think we should shoot over there, pay our sponsors, and come back and see if we can have a chat to MDW.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. Let's go ahead and let's thank some of our sponsors real quick while everybody jumps down pit road. Couple stays out, though. Stephen Thomas, only one staying out, but everybody else going down. Let's make a quick pit stop with them. We'll bring you back here at Rockingham here in just a bit. And folks, we're back here at Rockingham. We'll be giving a little chat right here with your stage 1 winner, see if we can bring him up here. And obviously the cheers, obviously, as they usually are with MDW, ends up getting stage 1. Matt, buddy, congratulations on stage 1. Tell us about that, buddy. Tell us about that battle right there with you and Jonathan Cofield, man. That was something right there.
Yeah, it was definitely intense. I guess he's picking top. I thought he was on new tires. He must have saved him, and he was coming, and I started running top and just able to pinch him in 3 and 4. It felt really comfortable. I'm just glad we're back at Rockingham in real life. Of course, I'm not old enough to remember any of that, but big history guy, I like looking back at it. So just glad they're back. Feels good to be leading some here. I guess Holden's out, so that's going to be big in the championship for me and Tiny Horse. So see how that plays out at the end.
Real quick. Obviously, there is 4 sets of tires right here. Do you think tires is going to be the key? Because I talked about this earlier. Tires should be a key here tonight, correct?
Absolutely.
Can't beat that one. Good luck, buddy. We'll see you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of it. Good luck.
All right, thank y'all. God bless.
I hope that...
He was talking about Holden McGill's out.
Yeah, Holden McGill is... I'm seeing the...
Wheelbase issues.
Oh, dear. That's... Yep. So technical issues, gremlins creeping in for some of the drivers here this evening, and that's one of them. Green flag in the air there, NBW Caulfield, front row, Merck and Johnson in the second row. So that's going to be an interesting battle already.
Here we go.
We got it, Jacob.
Go. There we go. Merkins up going around. Caulfield went with him. Caution is out. Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson. It was 3 wide coming off of 2, and it is literally smoked out. Cheech and Chong would absolutely love it right there on the back sheet right there. I'm telling you, just absolutely smoked out. Caution out once again.
It's me, Dave. I got this. All right, let's get back and have a look at that one. It's re-rack them, restack them. Wow. And re-rack them, Jacob.
Well, I mean, that's going to happen right there. I mean, Caulfield way up top right here. I mean, Caulfield just drifts back. 9-way Sunday. They get 3 wide. You'll watch it once again. Tiny Horse sees a hole down the bottom side. Caulfield went up top. Merck running right in the middle. He gets stuck 3 wide. Wood trying to get away from it. Johnson slides up, gets into Merck. Merck ends up getting up into Caulfield, and Merck ends up going for the spin cycle, goes all the way around and spins out. Once again, check it out right here. You see Johnson on the bottom, Merck in the middle, Caulfield up top. Watch this right here. Johnson is going to come up. I don't think they touched. They touched. I don't think Johnson and Merck touched, but it was close.
Have a look at the steering. Have a look at the steering angle here. So you got Merck. Look at the steering. And then it... Oh, that's interesting. It looked like it did for a second. I'm going to go into the cockpit. This will indicate whether or not it'll indicate a bump or not, because you wouldn't be... The steering here, it's the bouncy part. See how the steering went a little bit to the right before the contact?
He might have got loose.
Loose.
It looked like... Yeah,
and then it pushes him into... Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it pushes him in.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you Johnson into Caulfield right there, but... It does look like he gets him in the door, but, I mean, we saw it right there from the outside angle. It didn't look like Johnson got into him, but Jeff Merck, his chat has been disabled, so in the iRacing chat, so he's going to think completely different from what we're thinking, but you see it right there. There is no contact right there. There is a gap between those trucks.
But if you look at it as it's kind of a rebound. I mean, it could be the N-word. There, see, it's like a magical invisible barrier between them that forces Jeff in there. That's 6 to 1, half a dozen. The other, of course, yes. Different drivers are going to have different opinions on that one. Well, that's the way that they see it too on their racing rigs too, Jacob. And sometimes that can be a little bit different too because of the N-word we're not supposed to use, of course. Well, you know what, iRacing, I don't like you anyway, so netcode. There it is. That's the word that we're not supposed to use, but that was clearly probably an example of it. Anyway, they didn't send me a notification saying they're going to screw with everything for an update.
He just let loose on them. Well, I'll tell you what, Dean, and you mentioned something a while ago about a magical gap right there, magical moves and all that stuff, which is something about magical and magical creations. Murph's Magical Creations, which is a great sponsor here with Nazra. Matter of fact, one of his trucks sitting up here in the 3rd spot right now with Luke Smith. And speaking of Murph, he was on the door banging download last night. That episode is up now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So after the race here this evening, go check it out. Obviously, the behind the mic, all that good stuff as well. There's old Luke Smith right there in the 83, who started 18th this evening. He's got the power of the unicorn rocking and rolling right there as we are in Stage 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. And Luke Smith, he's on a little bit of a drive. Lucas Lyons also on a little bit of a drive as well. Matt Cherry is on a straight-up drive. I mean, he was on a big drive. And we got another pile-up over here. Some of them driving backwards going through 1 and 2.
It's Cody Knight and Dustin Scruggs exchanging Christmas cards early. Or perhaps they're exchanging Easter eggs. But either way, they're having a little bit of a dance together. That's going to be our other caution of this evening here at the moment. And let's see how that Easter egg challenge panned out between these drivers.
If they're going to exchange Easter eggs, if anybody's going to exchange Easter eggs with me, they better have Reese's Peanut Butter Cups in them. Or Skittles. Either one. Or even a Butterfinger. I'll take one of them.
Oh.
You give me a Milky Way, I'll throw it away. Oh, there you go right there. Cody Knott.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, I mean, is that Brandon Broadfoot down on the bottom side? Looked like Knott was trying to go around him, and he ends up tagging the 14, which is Matthew Cummins. Ends up getting him sideways. So watch Broadfoot down there on the bottom side, not trying to go up top. Kohik didn't, or Cummins didn't see it, I should say. So Knott goes up, gets him. There's Scruggs Gregory right there, smack dab in the middle of this as well. I mean,
look at him just come straight down into Cody.
Yeah, but Cody's trying to go around Broadfoot right there on the bottom as well, and then everybody kind of just piles right in after that. So, and then they're exchanging those Easter eggs like you were talking about.
There's contact there, initially, isn't it? Forces the something 7 up there, maybe the 07. Couldn't quite see. And then this is where it's kind of going a little bit pearl-shaped. Cody goes around the outside and bang. I didn't know if he sees the 14 coming super fast on there, and that causes that connection there. And that's between Dustin Scruggs, Cody Knott. Looks like Caulfield Gregory. Does Caulfield get into that one as well? Jonathan Caulfield. Is that because he's back at the back? I don't think Caulfield does survive this one there, Jacob, so...
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of people out here. I'm sure there's a lot of beef that's going to happen here tonight. Broadfoot, one of them, has already got his chat been disabled as well. And they haven't even turned their chat, but they didn't even turn Jeff Merck's chat back on yet. So Broadfoot's is disabled. Burks is disabled. Everybody's chats is disabled. They're probably cussing, raising all kinds of cane and all this and everything. Folks, it's Easter. It's Easter weekend. Let's not get crazy on the live chat and everything in there, and I racing and everything. But anyway, but here we go. There you see your race recap. Lap 73 of 200. Matthew Wood, obviously MDW, your race later. 8 cautions, if I'm reading that correctly. Dean, am I reading that correctly? Is that 8 cautions or 6 cautions that I see right here on our screen? Yes, that is 8. So 8 cautions for 73 laps here this evening. Hopefully they'll get it cleaned up a little bit right here, Dean, and we'll see what happens right here. There you see MDW, Tidy Horse, Ryan Johnson. Lucas Lyons sitting up there at that 4th spot. And Luke Smith sitting in the 3rd spot. Green flag, stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. We are back underway, and MDW fires off into turn 1. Tidy Horse hot on his heels. Luke Smith, Lucas Lyons, Battle of the Lukes going on for 3rd, and Dylan Cardenas up here as well, as a couple of them getting the fence off turn 2, but everybody's able to get away.
That's what it's all about. Let's get some laps under our belts here, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs. Whatever is tuning in to watch here, the Super Racing Hub 200. If we get to 200, we're 75 down. We're in to stage 2. We will end this in green, Jacob, so that's going to put a little bit more punishment for the tyres. Huck Willington is in the fence at the moment, playing ring. I was going to say ring Rosie with the fence, but that's the start race comp.
Well, I mean, I thought she was fixing to go with that ring around a Rosie deal like Wesley did that one night. I thought that's what he was going for. He's going orbital with the Starbase 1555. Kovic's entry, and that's out of, what are we looking at? That's into the backstretch, isn't it? Ooh. Yes, sir.
Just on his own.
Sent down into the wall right there. 0 goes around. Huck Wigginton, once again, another look. Nick Sacco, the sender. And
oh yeah,
looks like he is the sender, and Huck Wigginton is the receiver. There you see Ed Osborne up top, Brian Chew, and Jeff Merck trying to fight his way back from the back. Is end up getting away from all of that as well. So Huck's able to fire it back up and take off. So good to see him get back in it and get away. There you see Lucas Lyons, a couple of others making a pit stop. We're going to make another pit stop with them, folks. Let's hear from some more great sponsors with Nazra. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at Rockingham.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Folks, we're back here at Rockingham, getting ready for a little double file restart right here with MDW, Tidy Horse, Ryan Johnson up here in this mix as well with Luke Smith, Dylan Cardenas, Matt Cherry. That's the top 5. Adam Newbert up here in 6th, John Freeman 7th, Dane Hagan 8th, Brady LaBeouf 9th, and Matthew Lee rounding out the top 10. If you're looking for your stage 1 winner, obviously Wood is up there. We talked about Jonathan Cofield. He's back there mired in the 19th spot, and Jeff Merck is sliding up here ever so closely. He's just in the 15th spot. We'll see how far they gain here on this restart. Green flag back in the air. Everybody working their way. Some trying to go to the bottom, some trying to go to the top. Stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Here's 79 laps in, 79 miles in. The SimRacerHub.com 200 at Rockingham.
Oh, slow. Is that Matt Cherry? Yep. Going a little bit loosey-goosey, I think, coming out of the corner. It's going to repack everybody up, and that's the 4 into the fence. And how is that not a caution? There's got to be a caution. There it is. That's a massive pile up there, Jacob. Look at this. Oh, he said at the moment, 4 trucks coming at him at high speed. Thankfully, at the moment, it looks like Adam Newbert there. Well, that is about half the field, Jacob. That's gone all pearl-shaped.
Yeah, Dean, that's what we would call a Walmart parking lot. That's exactly what that is right there. Literally, there you see Adam Newbert right here in the 4. He was in this mix as well. I'm not 100% exactly where all this started.
There's the contact yeah, up the road there. That was Cherry, wasn't it?
Actually, it was Newbert.
Yeah.
It was Newbert that will start this right here. Watch what happens right here. Let's see what happens.
But just go back
Newbert,
a second, Jacob.
right
Sorry.
4.
Just go back a second.
Go ahead.
And you can see up the road, there is also Cherry that gets in. That's why Cherry backed off a little bit that we saw earlier. Just gets back into it. That forces, I think, Newbert into a lifting off a little bit, right? They both lift off. There you go. You can see. And it's restacked them up all in here. The outside trucks that are much, much faster, you see the cars behind the trucks, and then bang, that's just a concertina effect, and this is where you're going to see a big wreck from tons of peoples.
Yeah, Newbert gets up into the wall. A couple others tried to go down. Newbert, wow, just hard left. Comes down off of the wall. Nails Jeff Merck. Kohik involved. There's Keith Bradley. He goes up into the wall as well. Kevin Edwards. Literally anybody trying to get through this wreck gets involved in it. You see Adam Newbert right here. He's down on the bottom of the racetrack. And then they're already, wow.
Who's on the side?
Dade Hagan. Wow. Wow.
That's blocked.
I ain't got nothing else for that. I mean, that's just wow. I mean, that's all you can say right there. And they keep piling it.
Yeah.
I want you to look at this. News up there. He gets in it. Wigginton gets in it. Everybody sliding around the top side. Jonathan Cofield gets in it. A lot of guys just tore their trucks up. Bad right there. That is a, like I said, that is a Walmart parking lot pile up right there over 1 and 2.
And this is where it's going to bang into it. And that's Dan Hagen that tried to take it around the outside, remember. The fact is that they were all too slow. Misjudgment on the speed, I'd say. And then bingo, watch this, goes up. Says, I can squeeze past. Not quite. Almost over on the lid. And this is the car park. Clean up on aisle 4.
Golly. right on board with Lucas Lyons. All this going on right here. See what happens with the 88. See if he's able to sneak through some of this right here. See what happens. There you see the accident up the road. Lyons on the brakes all the way down. Whoa! Golly! Newton slides through. He gets involved. Gregory gets involved. Blanchard involved. Lyons involved. You name it right there, literally. I mean, everybody, about 10th on back got in it, give or take?
Half the field went down to pit road as well, too.
One.
So I think we're getting ready to go back live, but goes to show you how long it takes to go through that replay. We are going to back green flag racing at the moment. Half the drivers went down to pit road to get some damage. I'm sure they may still have some damage just to stay on the lead lap there, Jacob, but at the moment only 25 trucks on the lead lap.
There you see right there, Tiny Horse Ride Johnson up on the top side. Wood trying to get away. Cardenas trying to reel in MDW. Remember, Dylan Cardenas won. He is locked in. He won back at Martinsville. And just as soon as I talk about him, we got a caution. We got another spinner back in the back. Caution out once again. 11th caution. Brandon New is involved. Hunt Wigginton back here involved in this as well. And parts are flying all over the place. And, wow, Atlanta Braves won against the Twins. Good to see. Anyway, Dean, you knew that was going to happen eventually. It was going to happen. It popped up on my phone. I had to call it out. Watch Brandon New right here.
Too bad if you wanted to watch that one back later. Go ahead. Oh,
well, I got some beef on that, but we'll talk about that later. There you see Jeff Mark, Raul Meza. It started way before Brandon New, and the New gets into Wigginton, knocks him sideways. They go up. They get into the wall. What happened right here? Raul Meza up on the top side. See what happens with Jeff Mark. Did he just snap loose? No, Meza comes off the wall, comes down, cleans Mark out. And Jeff Mark's got to be sitting there saying, what could have been here this evening? I mean, he was up front. He was up there battling. Is that Jonathan Cofield that he just got into? I think that is the 58 of Jonathan Cofield that got knocked sideways as well. Both of those drivers, Mark and Cofield, they were up there battling for second after Tidy Horse got into them and knocked them up the racetrack and sent them both to the back. Now they're back here just trying to fight their way and just try to survive at this point. So it's amazing how things can change in the blink of an eye right here, Dean. I mean, literally it is.
I would say with a lot of these trucks damaged as well, too, trying to chip out some repairs, it's not over yet. You've still got 115 laps of this race. Of course, we're getting closer to the stage 2, but, you know, you've seen Merck plump last before in late stages of races, and he's fought his way through the field. So I wouldn't say old Pookie to give up yet, and I don't think a lot of these drivers as well. I don't think Colefield's going to give up. Keith Bradley, Lucas Lyons, Huck Wellington, Raul Meza, Brandon Hughes been involved in a couple of incidents this evening, but chip out those repairs. If we get a few more cautions, of course, up your sleeve, before you know it, your truck's hopefully back in perfectly drivable, well, not perfectly, but drivable conditions enough where you can keep up the pace there and slice and dice your way through the field. Also depends on those tyres that you mentioned, Jacob, because that's important. How many of those sets are you going to save up your sleeve? Because you can't be using them through at these a lot of cautions that we've had. 11, in fact, so far. Not even halfway through the race, but that's going to come in. That's going to come into a key factor, isn't it? Later on, as you mentioned, tyres.
Yeah, I mean, these tires is going to come into a big factor, but the only problem is, Dean, if we keep having these cautions right here, then the tires is not going to make a damn. Just to be honest with you, I mean, they're not going to matter if we keep having caution after caution after caution. These guys need to get it cleaned up, and I'm sure race director, obviously Bray LaBeouf, the owner and president of Nazareth, Cody Dodd up here are in this as well. Race directors Robbie Richards, Joshua Suss, they're back and forth right here. I'm sure they're telling these guys, look, y'all need to clean this stuff up right here. Let's get back into that green flag racing that we saw in stage 1, especially right there at the finish. Let's get back into some clean racing, and let's see how it works. So far, everybody keeping it calm, cool, collective. We are green once again. Wood dives into 3 and 4. Cardenas behind him. There you see everybody scooting by through 3 and 4, making it work. Brady LaBeouf once again up on the top side. Your Talladega winner from Monday with the DSR Electric Truck Series. Brady LaBeouf trying to make something happen right here. up on that top side, but he'll slip back a little bit. He'll slide in behind Tristan Bruce and run in for a tiny horse, Ryan Johnson.
And there's another caution. Trying to see who it is. It looks like the 60 might have been involved there, Jacob, the 88. Now, they were Lucas Lyons, Jacob. Oh, dear. And that's Jeff Merck again. Oh, dear. We got beef between Lyons and Jerk and Brandon New. Whoa.
I think there's beef. We may end up having a little bit of beef right here, Dean.
Well, we are. This is the third incident now that Jeff Merck's been involved in as well. That's kind of something race control is going to start looking at, going, how come we've got 40-something trucks out there at the moment and you seem to be in every single incident so far, almost every caution. That's something you got to look at, isn't it? Oh, no, that's not Merck.
Wow.
Actually, that was who was that? Snapped completely. That's the 88, isn't it?
Lucas Lyons.
Lucas Lyons. Sorry about that one, Pookie. Pookie was just the poor innocent bystander on that one.
Well, let's go right on board with Lucas Lyons before we, try to take shots or whatever. Inside the cockpit, see what that wheel looks like for Lucas Lyons if we can. And see what this wheel looks like. But did he snap it? Yes, he was loose. He was really loose right there. He was loose coming off of turn 2. So Merck's not going to be happy about it. Lyons is going to get the EOL. Like I said, Merck is going to end up having beef with Lucas Lyons, but it is what it is. I mean, you saw it right there on the instant replay. He had already had the wheel going left, wheel kicked back to the right. He was trying to get it straightened out. He just got loose. And that turn 2 over there, Dean, I've seen it numerous times that you can get loose over there off turn 2. I've got loose over there off turn 2 when I've raced a couple of times here. It's hard to drive turn 2 here because here's the thing. You can get loose, you can get tight. Either one. And for some of you that may not know about what loose and tight was and everything else, give you an idea of what tight is. Tight is when the truck will not turn. You cannot get the truck to turn off of the corner. Loose is when it turns too much and the back end wants to come around and you start to spin out. So what happened was Lucas got loose right there. He overcorrected. He was already kicking to the right. He kicks it to the right. He gets up and Merck gets him in the left rear and sends Merck around. So, I mean, I'll just say this. Merck has been a damn pinball here tonight. And, and he's got every right to be a little bit ticked off at all this. I would be too, being up there at the front. Looking good right there at stage 1, and then stage 2 has literally just shot him, literally has just screwed himself, if you want to be honest. That's exactly what's happened with Jeff Mertz. So he'll try to fight off and try to fight back and try to get back in this. A couple of you out there in live chat, is this the Dean Martin I kept racing at Dega?
Yes.
No.
Yes. It is.
Yes. Yes,
Yep.
it is. Yes, it is, Samuel Bridges. Yes, sir, it is. And so here we go. Let's see if we can get it cleaned up right here. Green flag back out in the air. Wood, Cardenas up on the front side. Luke Smith, Matt Cherry, Tristan Bruce. The top 5. Lee up here in this mix as well. So far, clean green off of 2. Bruce, Cherry, they're battling. And right behind them, tiny horse Ryan Johnson looking to the inside of Matt Cherry.
Dylan at the moment in P2 up 29 places. So he's loving these cautions. He's been chipping away at a lot of those drivers involved in them. So if he can keep it green and keep it out of the fence and stuff like that, he'll be looking okay. That's what it's all about. Is other people's misfortunes you'll end up favouring those drivers that have managed to stay themselves clean. And at the moment, to Jacob, we are 94 of 125 for our stage break, which will be staying green. Well, as I said, that's why you need the glass mechanic out there, my friend. They fix all those shattered windscreens from those wrecks that we've been having so far in stage 2.
Yeah, we've had a couple of them. We've had a lot of window busters out here this evening. And, folks, I don't mean by window busters as far as a baseball smacking the window. I'm talking about window busters as a demolition derby is what it's looked like so far here in glass mechanic stage number 2. But so far, everybody got it back going. We got it back green. Let's see what happens. Lee back here with Cherry. The Mats battling it out for the 6th spot. Lee jumps down to the inside, tries to go around Cherry. A couple of others battling back there on the back. Kohek and Edwards going at it as well. There you see John Freeman right behind them, the new man in town. Started 33rd. He's all the way up here in the 8th spot. Kevin Thomas slugging it out for the 8th spot. Thomas going to try to pull the crossover, jump down to the inside, and Mr. Sacco, Nick Sacco, up here in this mix as well with Dustin Scruggs with the Easter Bunny on the hood of the truck as well.
Yeah, I didn't realize that one as well. That's what it was, the Easter Bunny. I just thought it was a bunny, but I just remembered, we are in Easter as well too. Lucas Lyons might have had a little bit of a lockup or a little bit of an issue going to pit road, as it flashed up with a message on race control that we had here, but he has head back down to pit road. Probably maybe a little bit too much damage on that track when he came back out to restart another race, and just elected that he has to go down and go a lap down or so to chip out those repairs. But still up to Keith Bradley on the lead lap. That's 26 trucks, Jacob. We are on a time limit as well, just to let everybody know. So there is just over an hour and 26 minutes remaining. So if we do have a lot more cautions, this race may end on time and not laps.
Yeah, and hopefully that does not happen. Maybe these guys have already got a stern talking to by race director Robbie Richards and Joshua Suss and told them, hey, let's get this crap cleaned up. Let's get back to racing. Let's get it clean. Let's have a little bit of door banging like we see right there with Mr. Freeman and Mr. Cherry. A little bit of door banging right there in 3 and 4. Like that, we love that. But, when you have caution after caution after caution after caution, Dean, yes, drivers will start to get frustrated. Yes, they will end up start bickering at one another. And yes, drivers will start to get impatient. And that is what I was talking about, this being a short track. Drivers' nerves will literally explode. And they'll get ticked off. And then finally, they'll just start overdriving the corner and say, well, y'all want the cautions? You want your dadgum cautions? I'm going to give you some cautions. That's basically how it is at a short track.
Yeah, and they'll start getting hard, like at a point where if you're involved in a wreck and you're seeing that you were the person who caused the wreck, you just park it. At that point, you start showing the black flag. Some drivers saying it's the only way to get that race finished at that point. And certainly, if you're getting involved in a couple of wrecks, that's because if you see drivers involved in multiple wrecks, you've got to say it's got to come down to the driver at that point. But as we did say in the case there with Jeff Merck, it wasn't his fault. He was the innocent party on that one, so that's what race control will also look at as well too, and just not say that just because you're involved in a wreck that you're out, or you've been involved in 3 this evening. But it is what it is. Nick Sarko in P11, down 3 positions. John Freeman's up the road there, battling on Dustin Scruggs, and Dustin, you got to look at that. Steve Thomas as well too, up 28, up 23 for John Freeman. So once again, drivers that have managed to keep their noses clean so far and slicing and dicing back up through the field.
Yeah, a couple of them slide around on the outside now. They're trying to work their way around Freeman right behind him. You also got the driver of, I believe that is Matt Cherry, right in behind Freeman. So they're up there trying to make a little bit of noise as well. And check it out. Here comes Lee. He's trying to go after Tristan Bruce. Tidy Horse Ryan Johnson right there in that mix as well. So everybody making some serious moves, trying to make something happen. We do want to mention MDW, Dylan Cardenas about half a second gap, and then Luke Smith about a half a second back from them. But we'll stay with this battle right here, which this is the battle right now for that 3rd spot, which is exactly where Luke Smith is. Bruce trying to go after Smith. Lee trying to get them both.
MDW in.
And Tidy Horse Ryan Johnson trying to get a triple out of it. He's not able to do it. Is now Lee's going to go after Bruce. Now here we go with Johnson down to the inside. He's going to try to follow Bruce. And just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But still hard, clean, door banging going into 3 between Lee and Bruce.
MDW, I think, went down for the very first time. There's Dylan. He's way up the road. This is the battle you see a little bit further back. So he went down by himself, which isn't too bad on short track racing, of course. Matt Cherry's just come down. But completely out of a different pit stop strategy of the rest of the drivers. I presume that might be the first time that he's using a set of tyres too there, Jacob. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was that second pit stop there for MDW. And he'll slide his way back out a lap down, P26.
And that's exactly where he is right now. MDW jump down pit road, and we'll see how this all works out. Remember, going all the way to lap 125. So at the end of lap 125, we'll pay out some stage points and obviously playoff points. But remember, we will stay green. That's exactly how this is going to work out. MDW, as you mentioned, 1 lap down now on the field. He would get the lucky dog if a caution was to come out, which we hope it does not. But if it does, Wood will get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. So here we go with Lee, Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson up here in this mix as well. Tristan Bruce in the middle of it as well. A little bit of action right here. Lee going after Luke Smith. They're trying to make something happen for second right in front of them.
That's
Door Banging City.
Yeah.
Jeff Merck in the middle of this. Is that Keith Bradley? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Both of them having themselves a little bit of a tussle. Bruce in the middle of it as well. Bradley gets kicked to the top side. Merck's going to go back there with him. Smith up into the wall. Lappers right in front of guys racing for second. And Matt Lee is going to come away with second.
Yeah, they're starting to lap the trucks at the moment through the field there. That's just Jeff Merck and Keith Bradley. Next up is Chris Blanchard. But that's going to be a little bit frustrating. These drivers are trying to battle themselves. Not to mention they've got to battle past the trucks that are battling themselves for their positions further back there. So having to navigate through a landmine of trucks is not easy to do on a short track around here, especially when it's bumpy. It's been a bit of a caution fest so far as well, too. So concentration levels through the roof there, Jacob.
Yeah, and Dane, you actually said something that I have not heard in a long time that we talk about as drivers on iRacing, and that is landmines. And, you know, I have not heard that term in a long time. A couple of my buddies called them that as well way back in the day. Landmines is basically what we're talking about with lap trucks up there racing like Keith Bradley, Jeff Merck was right there smack dab in front of the leaders while the leaders are battling for position, and then you got lap trucks up there door banging and everything else. It literally throws everything for a wrench because they are landmines. I mean, you literally get up behind them and you can literally step on them or even get close to them and they will straight up explode and they will completely take you clean out of the race. That is why we call those landmines. So any of you out there in the live chat, all 29 of you, if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, NASRA 360 Racing Network. And if if there's some racing terms that we say here this evening that I say here tonight, or for that matter throughout the season, and you're not sure what that means, put it out there in the live chat. Ask questions. Interact with us, folks. We'll interact with you back, and we'll answer some of those questions. If there's some terms that we say that you may not think, that you may not know about what's going on.
Whoa!
As we got some action right here. We got beef, and beef is actually drivers that are ticked off, and Blanchard is mad. He is going to be absolutely upset with Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. He went to the bottom, and Blanchard got nailed. He didn't get nailed. He got sent. He got sent right there, Dean. He went all the way to the bottom. Tiny Horse was down there. Blanchard blocked him all the way down there, chopped his nose, and Tiny Horse had enough of it. He just straight up sends him.
This is what you're talking about, and that's a landmine explosion right there, Jacob. Look at this. They're coming down. Look at the 44 and the 39. Now they're battling, of course, for P2 at the moment. Chris Blanchard is about to be lapped. So Chris Blanchard does remain predictable, and that's what you got to be doing if you're getting lapped. You want to, and then you'd have to say, why did Ryan Johnson go down the inside there where he could have easily gone around the outside? It's easier said than done as well too. But they both recover, but no, he couldn't quite. He gets back on the track there, Blanchard into the fence. That's another one to look at, isn't it, Jacob? That how that could have possibly been avoided at the same time. It's if you're in road racing. And even if you're in those series where you have different classes, so you got cars in a much quicker class than another one. Even if you're in the slower class, you remain on the racing line. You remain predictable, and the faster cars go around you. But as long as you are predictable, Jacob. If you're not predictable, that's when people get a little upset. So we'll see whether or not Blanchard's not moving around or weaving around. So I don't know how you want to put it.
But he came down on him right there, though.
Down on him?
Blanchard, right. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, look at it from a different angle right here, Dean, and you'll see and you'll see what I'm talking about. Blanchard does come down on Tiny Horse. I mean, Ryan gets the run. He's going after Lee. They're battling for the second spot. It is coming down to the end of stage 2 for those stage points. Watch what happens. Johnson comes down. He finds a hole. He's going to take it all the way to the bottom side. He's right there. Yeah. Blanchard comes down and gets him right there in the right front, and Blanchard does get that EOL penalty from Joshua Suss, one of the race directors. So Blanchard, all he had to do was move to the right just a little bit, and Johnson would have slid right by him, and they would have raced it out for that second spot between him and Matthew Lee. Blanchard decided, no, I'm going to come down. I'm going to door him. For what reason, I have no idea. But he ends up coming down. He doors him and ends up knocking him around, and then Blanchard ends up paying the price for it. So,
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't know what else to say on that except for, I don't know, hold your damn line. I mean, that's all I know. That's all I know what to say. I mean, if somebody, look, it's just like I was talking about a second ago. The lap down trucks needs to get out of the way from the guys that's racing on the lead lap.
No.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah,
that's
okay,
what they need to do, Dean. That's exactly what it is. The
You
lap
ain't
down
moving
trucks
me.
needs to get out of the way.
I would be.
He held
fine,
his
you-
line. He
yeah,
was
yeah, I
predictable.
understand.
He was predictable, like you said, Dean. He was very predictable. I mean, this is a legitimate beef I've got because I have the same issue with certain drivers
somebody's
that
got
does
beef.
this kind of crap. So I'm kind of, I got some legitimate beef on that. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Brandon LaBeouf up here, the boss man. He's trying to go after a couple stage points. Think about this, folks. Remember, Bray LaBeouf is racing on the Friday night series. Obviously, over there racing with a brand new team with Team Speed Show over there with Joshua Suss, Keith Bradley, and others. So Bray LaBeouf and these guys, they are racing for a championship. And if, we saw the standings as well. He's on the outside looking in, trying to get in the picture for a playoff. If he can win here tonight, he will lock himself in. Nick Sacco has got other plans, and some of these other guys has got other plans, just trying to figure out how they're going to survive right here these last 5 laps in stage 2.
Yeah, he's got to stay at the front there, but he's under massive attack there from Sarko, Dustin Scruggs as well too. RJ a little bit further down the field there with 4 to go. In fact, they're going to be all in the mix here. 3 wide, Jacob. Through the middle goes Dustin Scruggs and Sarko. And now challenging the background, Matt Lee. Ryan Johnson's going to be on this party as well very, very soon as there's a struggle. And there is a caution. And I think that I can't even see who that one's out for there, Jacob.
I can't see neither, but I'm sure we'll end up figuring it out here pretty soon. We'll figure out somewhere, somehow, who it was that ended up going around. Caution's out once again. And Joshua Suss, he throws the caution. So somebody went around out there on the racetrack. I'm not 100% exactly who it was. I'm still looking on my end now.
Yeah, I
You
didn't
got
see a
dadgum
stop
clue,
on the
so.
track map. I didn't see a stop truck at all on that one. So if it's a semi-spin or something, that might have caught it. Or perhaps, I don't know. It could also be, maybe you don't know from race control, they could have just called the caution and say, look, this is getting a little too messy. There could be a little bit of bumping and grinding going on further in the field there. As who says that? A pit? Yep, that's Dustin Scruggs. No, setting a dummy at the moment going, I'm going to go on pit road. No, I'm not going to go on pit road. Ryan Johnson does go down there. James Beard goes down there. Devin Painter goes down. It could just be a, hey, you guys are starting to look a little bit too, let's say, shaky or a little too, I don't like it. It's going to build up into a wreck, so they might have just said back off. I don't know, Jacob. Do they do throw a caution if they feel that it's getting a little bit too 4 wide action, 3 wide action?
Actually, Dean, I found it.
Right. Okay, Jacob's found it. Jacob to the...
Tristan Bruce that you see right there. Tristan Bruce and Brandon Broadfoot got into it in 1 and 2.
Thank you. Investigator. On the case there, Detective Jacob. And here is the scene of the crime.
Broadfoot goes up under the wall. Bruce sends it in the corner.
And says, I'll
Unable
join
to
ya.
make it stick. Door bang straight up under the wall.
Yeah.
And there's your caution.
That's why I didn't see it on the track map, because nobody went around. Thanking you. And they were at speed too to not even flag the race control messages to say that there was an incident there, Jacob. So there you have it. So who would you say that one's in? Because is Tristan Bruce planning on going up into the fence at that point? I mean, so he'll see this driver go into the... He'll see Brandon go bang into the fence. So you could be probably trying desperately to steer it so he can stay clear of him, but the car's saying no and slides. Would that be the case?
Well, Dean, in that instance right there, you see Broadfoot up under the wall. A driver's first reaction would be when they see somebody go up under the wall, their first reaction is, oh, beep, I got to go. Literally, I got to gas up. I got to get away. Thank you. They got to gas up and they got to go. They don't want to get nowhere. Thank you. They got to get away from him. And that was his first reaction was he's up on the wall. Oh, I got to go. And so he might have gassed up a little bit too early. And it might have went through his mind. I got to go. And when he hit the gas, he drove right up into Broadfoot and threw him up into the fence. And then, bam, there was. But he still gets the EOL. At least that's how I would think that Tristan Bruce was racing out there in that instance. Here we go. Green flag once again. And at the end of this lap right here, you will have your Stage 2 presented by the Glass Mechanics Stage 2 winner. And it looks like Dustin Scruggs is going to get it. It's got to be at the end of lap 125. And that's what we're going to. And Dustin Scruggs in a one-lap dash will end up winning Stage 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. He gets it done. Matthew Lane gets second. Bray LaBeouf gets third. Kevin Edwards, Nick Sacco. That is the top five. But remember, Dean, as he pointed out a while ago, we are still racing it. We may not be after this. LaBeouf, Gregory, they go around. Where's the caution? Caution is finally thrown.
Barney, a little late on that one, mate. Daylight dollar short, Barn. Flag man. As we caught that action live on the screen. You kind of just feel that the three-wide action was brewing into an incident, Jacob. Once again, big congratulations to Dustin Scruggs for winning the stage break, which once again we go green, but didn't last long anyway. One lap later, we went to caution anyway, Jacob.
Well, you saw it live right there on the air. We'll check it out real quick for a Points Poppers instant replay, and then we'll slide over and give you a commercial break, let you hear from some of our great sponsors. There you see Brady LaBeouf right there, held him off, got to the end of it for Stage 2. He shot up the racetrack. They almost went 4 wide. Gregory shoots down on the bottom side. Sacco gets into LaBeouf. They come down. Gregory just trying to get away from him. Gregory ends up going around. LaBeouf ends up going around as well. Once again, the contact. LaBeouf gets set up the hell by Edwards. Sacco gets stuck right in the middle of this as well. And there you see the contact right there. LaBeouf came down, or it looked like LaBeouf come down, got into Sacco, came across his nose, got into Gregory, and from there on, everybody went a-spinning down Thunder Alley. Here at the back chute here at Rockingham Speedway. Points Poppers, great sponsor here with Nazareth. Thank you very much for their sponsorship for the instant replay. And Dean, while we got the opportunity, let's go make us a pit stop, see if we can find Dustin Scruggs, and we'll be right back here at Rockingham. Well, folks, we're back here at Rockingham. We got you Stage 1 winner, Mr. Dustin Scruggs, up here in the house. Jacob. Dustin, or Stage 2. See, I'm so screwed up at this point. Dustin, congratulations on Stage 2. What's it going to take? Because obviously you are doubling up for a restart. What's it going to take to get the win here tonight?
Luck, consistency, tires, and fuel. So, and yeah, if we could stop wrecking each other, including myself, but
what do you think's causing all the wrecks?
It's a hard track, man. It's a tough track, tough setup. It's loose, it's bumpy, it's wavy, it's an old track. It's just like Bristol, Darlington. So,
well, maybe y'all can tame it. Y'all got about 70 more laps, buddy. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
And not by Dustin Scruggs taming it. I mean everybody taming it. See if they can clean it up right here for the last 70 laps of the SimRacerHub.com 200. Scruggs gasses up. He is away. Lee's in second. Dylan Cardenas sitting up there in that third spot. Kevin Edwards, Jonathan Cofield, fourth and fifth. Cofield started fifth. He went to the back, got caught up in a couple of wrecks. He has jumped his way back up here in contention to have a shot to try to get up here and get a win here tonight at Rockingham. Scruggs trying to get away. Cofield looks to the inside of Dylan Cardenas. Cardenas up on the top side. Scruggs, all of them starting to fan out, and they are looking 3 wide coming off of turn number 2.
Yeah, further in the back field as well, too. This is where you're at, and this is where MDW is at as well, too, after that pit stop early. Not a place you'd want to be there, Jacob, necessarily. 4 wide at some points. MDW's got to sit there and try to slice and dice his way through the field there. We don't know if he's got some better tyres on there. That alternative strategy has put him in the Hornets mix, and the only problem of being in the Hornets, well, the Dingo Cave as well, too, Jacob, is that if there's a wreck up the road, you're going to have there is a wreck in the background. And you're going to have awareness of a honey badger, and that's Buzzy.
Buzzy Mongo, 97, goes around for another Serve Pro caution. Is this the 16th or 18th, Dean? I couldn't see that number. I believe it might be the 16th. I've lost count myself.
This is weird. Look at MDW's to the right as well, too. So I said this is a dangerous place for him to be. It was comfortably controlling this race earlier on. But that pit stop's put him out of position. Now, Buzzy's the 97 you can see on the inside there. And boom, it's Trish and Bruce, I think. It's turned into Trish and Bruce, or Trish and Bruce has come into him one way or another. There's contact, and Buzzy's the unfortunate victim of that shenanigans there, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, Dean, I think I actually may have an idea of why we're having so many problems. I'm starting to kind of see it right here. I'm starting to kind of see why I think we're having so many problems with these drivers and this track and everything. Hey, I agree with Dustin Scruggs. Yeah, it is a very hard track, but I think there is a lot of impatient drivers out here, on the racetrack here this evening. You saw maybe Sacco come down a little bit. Buzzy comes down. He's not expecting Bruce to come around. I mean, all of it's racing incidents, but at the same time, if everybody would just calm down a little bit and not drive crazy and just calm down and just put some laps down and let everything else play itself out, we'd have a pretty good race right here. I mean, 16 cautions, 134 or 200 laps has been ran. Dustin Scruggs the leader, and like I said, 16 cautions. I mean, Dean, I've seen them race here at Rockingham. Me and you both seen them race here at Rockingham. And they might have had, 10 at the end of the race? They might have had about 10 at the end of the race. That was that 3-wide finish we saw here at Rockingham. I think it might have been last season or the season before last. But I don't know what everybody's doing right here. I have no idea.
I don't know, Jacob. You know that iRacing had done, as I spoke about it earlier, some updates. Now, I can only tell you from a broadcasting perspective that some things have changed, but don't know have they changed any of the car modeling or handling or anything like that with that recent update? Are you aware of?
I'm not 100%, Dean. I couldn't tell you, honestly. I mean, I wasn't able to jump online and race around a little bit today. Real quick, if you haven't yet, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe to the NASR 360 Racing Network. But Dean, I wasn't able to jump on earlier today and race around and see, how everything was. So I couldn't comment on if anything's changed. But I do know these trucks, they handle like crap when they tore up. Well, the only way they get tore up is when you end up making contact with other drivers and they end up causing wrecks like we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Thomas Cohig gets involved. James Beard goes around as well. And once again, another Serve Pro caution comes out. That is the 17th caution of the event. And Dean, you were talking about time limits.
Yeah. We have an
I
hour.
wouldn't be surprised. We might be getting, they keep on. We're gonna find that 1 hour, I promise you.
That's a very much possibility. So let's have a look. You saw that in the live pictures as well, too. Just, they couldn't get going. James Beard, the number 25. Have a look at that. Wonder if he gets a check up from behind. As they're going to put the loud pedal down any second now when Barney waves that green flag. See, that's a check up at the front, too. So I'm not quite sure. Was that...
Big stack up.
Big stack up. I saw that because they were door banging at the front, essentially, isn't it? And then that's where it's all going pearl shaped from back. Yeah, you see that. Not enough spacing really is at the moment, isn't it? There, bang, 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 bang. And it could have come from the front. They're going to look at that from race control as well, too, because you can see, should they have gone already? Now, we know that Matt Lee did go, but that's another one, Jacob, for race control to have to sit there and crunch through, which would be very busy tonight, and hats off to them. Of course, it's Robert Richards, I think, Joshua Suss.
Well,
they're doing that race control, so it's not an easy job to do tonight, especially for a certain amount of cautions that we've had there, Jacob. That's a lot to review.
Well, Dean, I actually went back and I looked at this on my end, and I'll tell you how all that started right there. I went back and I looked at it.
Right.
And it's literally the second row back. The second row back, everybody. Watch what happens right here. You see Dustin Scruggs and Matt Lee right up here on the front row. They're still single file over in 3 and 4, so you're good, Dean. But check this out right here. Watch what happens when they come through 3 and 4. Watch everybody lined up behind him. You got Cofield, you got Edwards, all these guys. Watch, they're in the box. Watch what happens. Nobody checked up. I went back and I looked at Dustin Scruggs' speed and everything, and from my end, he looked like he was good. Everybody just stacked up and thought he was going to go right at that first line, folks. That is that restart box. They don't have to go just as soon as they cross that first line. They can go all the way up to the second white line. Now, if they don't go at that second white line, there was the second one right here. See, they're already gassing up thinking he's going, but he's waiting until right there at that line. He's going to go at that second line, and that's what stacked everybody up and got everybody crossed up. Is exactly what happened right there. So it's everybody, once again, being impatient, trying to get a jump on the start and thinking that the leaders is going to go when they're not. I mean, you see them right there. I mean, hell, they're running over him before he can even get to the second line.
Yeah.
And he never spun the damn tires. So, I mean,
I thought it might have been Dustin Scruggs not going, but you've just elaborated when you're allowed to go, and that's it. And so it looks like he's done the right thing, and everybody else hasn't, unfortunately. And I have to say, at least 3 or 4 trucks. But then again, they've just followed the other trucks as well, too. They go, oh, well, if he's gassing and I'm gassing, and that's just a domino effect on that point. So you have to go up to the front on that one to investigate where it all started. Green flag again, Matt Lee in the lead.
Well, at least we got a clean restart that time. Lee's able to get away. Kevin Edwards down to the inside. Cardenas up top. Now Scruggs is going to go below Dylan Cardenas. Jonathan Cofield's going to follow Dustin Scruggs as well. Cofield may be thinking twofer, thinking different. He'll jump back in line. Scruggs powers around on the outside. He's going after Kevin Edwards. He's trying to get back up here to soothe the lead. Goes from the top down to the bottom. Dustin Scruggs going for second in 1.
And make it stick. It's bumpy down on the inside. Now, the drivers are well aware of that one. When you come up close to that fence, you just got to allow that spacing between them, which is what they're doing. He knows that Kevin Edwards is on the outside. So 55 of Coalfield's just lurking in the background there. Matt Lee's loving this little bit of spacing that he's having up the front. He's got the clean air, got no traffic, of course, because we've had to re-rack and restack them on our 17 cautions so far. At the moment, we still have 60, almost 59, 58 laps to go there, Jacob.
Yeah, and hopefully that was the last caution. Hopefully we can race it out and see what happens here tonight at Rockingham. But if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on another caution. Scruggs, though, is really starting to reel in Matthew Lee. And Scruggs really making a lot of headway right now. Dustin Scruggs with Mission 1 Esports. And Matthew Lee over there, teammates with Jeff Merck, Tristan Bruce over at Catch Fence Motorsports. So a little battle going on. Lee goes to the top, jumped down from the bottom, went to the top, tried to put the block on him. Scruggs goes down on the inside. Side by side, he's got a fender, he's got a nose there. But Lee will get the run on the outside. Scruggs trying to side draft any way he can to pull him back. Kevin Edwards will join this battle up here. 3-way with Cofield and Johnson. They're going to latch right on as well with Nick Sacco up here in this mix as well.
Dustin Scruggs bringing the the Easter eggs to the party there for the number 11, trying desperately to get past Matt Lee, who is holding his own quite well. Jeff Merckx had a crash in the background in the pit road. He's going backwards. He's caught that fence there for the Catch Fence Motorsport, but we have no caution, thankfully, in that one. Jeff Merckx is detecting us crashing again. He's sitting down there in the pit road. He's off the track, but Barney's just sit there and said, my arm's too sore. I can't wave that flag anymore. Let's just keep going green.
Oh, baby, here we go. This is going to get good in the neighborhood as Wesley Outland our senior announcer would say. Here we go with Dustin Scruggs, Lee. They're battling it out. Edwards right behind them. Caulfield trying to dip down to the inside and find a hole down there, not able to do it. Lee's going to get clear of Scruggs. Edwards going to follow Lee. Kevin Edwards up here. Big drive for Edwards. We'll talk a whole lot about Kevin Edwards here on the Friday night series, Dean, but he has made the most of it here tonight. Could play spoiler and could get the win here tonight. He's got to keep it out of the damn wall if he wants a shot at it.
Oh.
He gets up into the wall. Little door banging. Scruggs and Edwards off 2. Caulfield behind them. Lee tried to get away. Caulfield's going to follow Edwards, but the outside lane, you can get runs up there, but you can burn through them tires. I don't think anybody's worried about it. I think everybody's just wanting to try to get to the front and get away from all the carnage.
I think Jeff Merkwada retired. I think he's had another incident. 3 wide action at the moment. There's number 758 and Dustin Scruggs on the inside 11. Another time Edwards has gone out and a bit of a tank slapper into the fence at the moment. Just to lick the fence a little bit just to remind it that I'm there. But that's the good thing about it. Didn't hit it too hard where you could scrub off enough speed or damage at the moment. Here comes Ronnie Johnson, the tiny horse. Nick Sarko as well in the mix here. So they're slicing and dicing his way through that. This is the thing that Tiny Horse does, isn't it, Ryan Johnson? He manages just to come up there, slowly creep his way through there, and when push comes to shove and you get down to about 10, 20 laps to go, he's challenging out for the lead of the race.
Yeah, I mean, he is really starting to make some charges up here, sitting in the top 5. Keith Bradley, lap truck. He will give way, or now he's a lap down. They end up going around him. Edwards 3 wide, shoved Bradley up the hill. Edwards and Johnson, they're going at it. Nick Sacco joins the battle up here, trying to go for that 4th spot. He's sitting in the 5th spot, so Nick Sacco could really play a factor. Dustin Scruggs up here as well. Hard racing going on for the 3rd spot, though, with Johnson and Edwards. And Nick Sacco thinking maybe 2's a party. Let's see if 3's a crowd and see if it'll stick. And to be honest with you, Dean, I got a quote Goofy from Disney. I read one to my unborn son earlier. Golly, what a race these guys are putting on up here at the front.
And look at that, the stint length there. So some of these drivers are on fresh. If they had to change any tyres or any gasoline, you can see some have only done like 24 laps for 18, 14, a little bit further back where MDW around is. So these drivers at the front have they pitted back on lap 116. And some of these other drivers have pitted on lap 137, 133s. So are they going to be key factors in this race as we go deeper into our 3rd stage?
I mean, I would think they probably would, Dean. I mean, you know, there is a good possibility as we're seeing already these leaders going around more lap traffic. 20 drivers right now on the lead lap. Brady LaBeouf sitting back in the 19th spot. Thomas Kohick actually is the last driver on the lead lap. Keith Bradley would love a caution right now. It would put him back on the lead lap to take the wave around, get the lucky dog, and get back on that. There you see MDW, Matthew David Wood. I'll say this. I mean, the kid was up front. He had a shot. He was going to look like he could possibly be the fastest truck here tonight to try to win the race. But Dean, he got caught back in all this traffic and everything, and that dirty air has just really messed up the handling on that 21 truck. He wants to try to get up here. He's still fast. He's still got a shot. There you see getting runs right here. Gregory almost hooked him in the fence, and eventually, Dean, right here inside of 50 laps to go, they're going to quit lifting. They're going to quit lifting with guys jumping up and clearing themselves like that. You see Caulfield going after lead. But moves like what you saw right there, like Wood, even as nice as he is, they're going to quit lifting because they're tired of rolling over for some of these guys.
And it's also about those tyres, isn't it? It's also about those tyres. Are they confident enough? Ryan Johnson is confident to go up inside there of Caulfield. And look at that. He can exit there without the truck sliding too much on the rear end. So it goes to show you that the tyres aren't really falling off the cliff there for the tiny horse. Nick Sarko is going to tuck in behind him and say, thank you very much. I'll be happy to follow the tiny horse who's on a flyer. MDW's in that gaggle of cars a little bit further back there with Stephen Gregory and so forth. And they've got good tyre. Well, the last pit stop for those drivers were 133 there for Stephen Gregory, 137 so for MDW. And we saw him take that pit stop early. So he could be flying. He could have those tyres. That's the key, isn't it? Tyre management 101, Jacob. Have they made them work? How many sets have they used? We're at 50% fuel capacity as well too. So questions to be asked, and hopefully with green flag running, we'll get those answers.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no telling when some of these guys on what they've got, what they don't have, or if they're just sitting there just playing like B4T Justice would do, and Smokey and the Bandit too, honestly, just playing with them like a cat plays with a mouse. The mouse jumps this way, I grab him with my paw. The mouse jumps that way, I grab him with my paw. And then finally, they squash his tail. That's exactly what happens. And there's a good possibility Cofield, Lee, they may be playing with one another. And Johnson and Sacco, they may be just sitting back in the catbird seat, just going to go ahead and let them race their hearts out and go around them after they burn their stuff up. So, I mean, so many different strategies going on here tonight. As we're already seeing a couple of you chiming in out there in the live chat. Jeff Merck out there, really, he's going after race control. I'm not surprised on that one, Dean.
Yeah, Merck is not a happy camper out there, expressing his feelings as drivers are allowed to do there in the chat out there on the YouTube, of course, as long as it's clean. As much as you can possibly be. We don't mind drivers coming in there and giving their opinions and stuff like that, but race control's ultimately at the end of the day going to make that decision. They're going to review that tape over and over again, and we respect that. MDW's tried to clear, I think he has finally cleared there, Matthew Montgomery and Kevin Edwards. So I'm curious to see what his pace will be if he can catch this pack up the front of these 4 trucks that you can see in your pictures. Jonathan Caulfield, Matt Lee, Ryan Johnson, Nick Sacco. If MDW's going to be joining that party very, very soon, down to 39 to go there, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, good possibility. I mean, he could probably run them down. And also another one that I see out there in the live chat just chimed in, obviously Flyman Murph, which is obviously Murph Murphy with Murph's Magical Creations. See, everyone I mentioned last night are feeling the luck of the Irish, had a little bit of a laughing face on there. I tell you what, Dean, if we can, let's go side by side and thank Murph's Magical Creations for their sponsorship. Obviously, the power of the unicorn is in the house here tonight, as it always is, with Nazra. And if you want to know the whole story about the unicorn, the whole deal, everything with that, go check it out. Me and Murph had a great conversation about that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on the door banging download. But there you go, Murph's Magical Creations at hotmail.com. There's the telephone number. Also got them on Instagram. Give him a holler right there, old Murph. So great to have him as a sponsor here with Nazra and now a beer buddy with the Redneck Announcer, Dean. So it was a great conversation. If you haven't got the chance yet, so check it out. Cofield, not yet. Don't go check it out yet. Stay on the racetrack. What are you doing? Oh, they're going down pit road for green flag pit.
Yeah. MDW went down, Caulfield went down, Edwards went down, and Dustin Scruggs went down. So maybe these other drivers will have to go down a pit road again, too, on the 50% fuel capacity. And that was certainly a scary moment. I hope there was a bit of communication between the drivers to let them know, because it was almost slammed into the back of Caulfield. And now, RJ, new race leader, the Tiny Horse, Nick Sacco still hanging with him. Hey, it has been behind this one before. Matthew, Stephen Gregory, 3rd and 4th there with old T. Bruce there for Jeff Merck, who's watching this from pit road.
Well, to be honest with you, Dean, I mean, I really hope that they had everything lined up, and hopefully they was having a little bit of communication, because obviously from what we've been hearing, race control has been muting a lot of people. So there, good possibility. Hopefully they did. And actually, Jonathan Cofield did say he was pitting, so maybe it was a last minute deal. But there you see, check out Cofield. Check out these brand new tires right here that Jonathan Cofield has on the field right now. He's 1 lap down, back in 14th, going through a green flag pit cycle right now. And you just saw how fast he was, how he just shot around Matthew Lee right there. Now, Lee, granted, he is 1 lap down as well. These guys are actually racing it out for the lead, but he shot around him like he was sitting still. Tristan Bruce, one of these drivers who has yet to pit, he is pitting right now. So Cofield and Lee, they're up here in this mix right here. This is the battle for the win. If it was to stay green all the way to the end, this is your race for the win.
Yes, sir, if they don't come back down. But these drivers don't have to come back down again, Jacob. Do you think that 50% fuel capacity? There's Brady LaBeouf, that they're about to unlap themselves, I think, currently on. there who's in the mix there. So that's the speed difference that they've got. Brady's running a P7, as you can see in your pictures. I've also got the last lap times on there to give you an indication of what they're doing. So 25s. Their best laps have been 23s and 24s earlier in the race, but at this point, 25s, 26s, 24s for 7 of these drivers of Caulfield, Matt Lee. So we're seeing some more drivers coming in. So Tony, yep, Ryan Horse, the Tony Horse, Devin Painter have gone in for their essentially last pit stops. Now, Nick Sarko way out in the lead there. You'd assume that he probably has to come back down too, Jacob.
Yeah, I would say he would probably have to come down, as we mentioned a while ago, as far as the fuel capacity goes. 50% fuel. They're looking at about 60 laps to how long they can go. But really, I mean, the tires is going to play a big factor in this one as well. Even if they had the gas to be able to make it, these speeds that these guys are running, they could probably run them down pretty quick, because these lap times are clicking off very fast back here with Lee and Caulfield running 24.4s. And Nick Sacco, that last time, was running 24.5. So these guys are literally running a second faster than these guys. And it's only going to get faster for these other guys. As now you see Matthew Montgomery is going to stay out. He's going to lead a little bit. Stephen Gregory sitting in second. Sacco third. LaBeouf still out there on the racetrack as well. John Freeman. Stephen Thomas just come off a pit road. He almost lost it coming off a pit road, but he saved it. But there's John Freeman working his way off of turn 2. Starting to work his way. There's Thomas coming out, and now LaBeouf's going to come down. He's going to make a green flag pit stop.
No, not LaBeouf. That was actually...
Or Gregory.
Gregory, sorry. Yep, there. LaBeouf stayed out. Matthew stayed out. So 2 drivers yet to come down at pit road. Lap 133 was the last time that Matthew came down at pit road. 138. Lap 138 was the last time that Brady LaBeouf came down to pit road. So... considering, I'd say, after those pit stops, you'd have to put it down to Matt Lee, essentially in the net lead of this one, if those other drivers have to box, Jacob, with Caulfield and MDW. And see, MDW has jumped Ryan Johnson by coming down a few laps earlier. So there it is. MDW went down on lap 164. Ryan Johnson went down on lap 169. So... we're going to see the MDW Ryan Johnson show, the Caulfield in the mix there, and right on the tailpipe with Caulfield, as you mentioned, Matt Lee, who I'd say is in the net lead of this race, bearing those rest of those pit stops.
Yeah, I mean, right now, these two right here are in the catbird seat right here at this point to see what happens. And obviously, both of them want to get up here. They want to try to get back on the lead lap if there was a caution, and if they had an extra set of tires, they could go ahead and gas up and jump in, get tires, get gas, and they'd be good to go for the final stint of this race with 25 laps to go. Montgomery's still the leader. LaBeouf still sitting out there in second. Freeman, they have not pitted. All 3 of these guys up here at the front, they have not pitted as of yet. Freeman, LaBeouf, Montgomery. Now Montgomery, there you saw him right there in the back end. Yep. He's jumping down pit road.
I thought Brady was to follow him, and it wasn't. Brady's got that... orange livery there now, as you can see for the Starbase Comics. So he's now in the lead of this race there. John Freeman's a little bit further back there in essentially that P2 position now once the timing tower sorts itself out. But once again, we do suspect the catbird seat, as Jacob would like to say there, Matt Lee, Jonathan Caulfield, MDW, RJ. Top 4, so...
yeah, and you better watch out, honestly, for Wood and Johnson. They are slowly but surely getting back into this mix right here with Lee and Caulfield. As there you see they're going around the lap truck of Raul Meza now. So watch out for these old boys right here, jumping down pit road, making something happen right here. As you see John Freeman, he is elected to jump down pit road. So Braden LaBeouf, the only one that has yet to make a pit stop. And then once he does, that will surrender the lead to Lee and Caulfield battling for that lead. And like I talked about a minute ago, MDW, Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson, they're starting to close that gap right here with 22 laps to go. It's shaping up to be a barn burner.
Thought you go burning any barns there, Jacob. I know what you mean. Fantastic. MDW and Ryan Johnson, we've seen these two go for it too for now all seasons long, plural, as they've raced for a few seasons now, and they're very even Stevens, I'd have to say, on race wins and so forth between those two drivers, isn't it? And they do show themselves a bit of respect out there on the track as well, too. And hopefully they'll continue to stay like that, though, Jacob. Then all of a sudden they'll door each other, and then That'll just turn all that upside down as Brady does go back into pit road finally for the last time there for the boss man. He'll slot himself out, hopefully, probably around, I don't know, P13, P14. We'll see how it pans out. But there's a challenge for the lead there, Caulfield and Matt Lee. And, of course, as you said, you can see behind Ryan Johnson and MDW catching him. So it'll be a top four shootout with Nick Sacco about 2 seconds to change down the road from MDW.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are at that Premier Racing Setups, 20 to go. So here we go with Caulfield and Lee slugging it out. And, folks, if you need a setup, go check them out, PremierRacingSetups.com. Enter the codes of either Nasra, N-A-S-R-A, or Jake57. That's J-A-K-E 57. Get 15% off your entire order. And, folks, if you want the setups that Nasra races, if you want the setups that the Redneck Announcer races, hell, even if Dean Hopton ever gets on the sim and races, you want those setups? Go check them out, PremierRacingSetups.com, as Matt Lee trying to hold off Caulfield. Caulfield looks to the outside. Tiny Horse, Wood, they have closed the gap as well. Lee slides up. He gets sideways. Jumps up in front of Caulfield. Tiny Horse to the inside. He's going for 8-1.
He could go to the front on this one if he can get past Lee, but he's got traffic in the way. So that's going to be the difficult. Then they're going to be navigating these landmines right now to the end of this race because there's traffic everywhere. Thankfully that we've got some green flag running. Look at that, side by side, Caulfield and Lee. Johnson in the background, MDW just lurking there, ready to capitalize on any mistakes with 18 to go. Fantastic racing. Caulfield just a nose in front. Now it's Lee in front. And we'll go to right on board with Ryan Johnson to see if he can go 2-for-1 special if these drivers make a mistake, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, they were straight up door banging right there about a lap ago, and Caulfield trying to see if he can get clear. Tiny Horse trying to stick his nose in there and try to make it stick. Caulfield gets clear. He will reassume the lead here tonight at Rockingham for the SimRacerHub.com 200. Caulfield gets sent. He got on the brakes. Lee sends him. Sends Caulfield up the hill. Tiny Horse opened the door. Here comes Ryan Johnson on the inside, side by side with Caulfield. Lee slides back to third. Wood sitting back in fourth, watching it all take place. And Tiny Horse to the inside gets clear just by an inch. Barely clear over Caulfield. Tiny Horse with the lead here at Rockingham.
Yeah, 15 to go. It's going to go pretty quickly as well, too. So he's in the hot seat right now to take the victory on this one. But you don't know what can happen. That traffic is going to be a bit of a problemo for some of these drivers as they can navigate their way through there, especially those drivers that are battling. And if gap car, try to find it. Here comes NDW.
Yeah, but watch out for the man sitting back here in third right now. Nick Sacco is on a tear right now. Tiny Horse and others trying to navigate this traffic. Nick Sacco has jumped up here and grabbed hold of the third spot, got around Lee and Wood. So Nick Sacco could play spoiler right here as he is right up on the back door of Jonathan Caulfield. Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson is trying to check out. Got the lap truck of Luke Smith in the way. One lap truck way down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Might have been Buzzy Mongold in the 97 trying to get away from everybody. No caution yet on the Speedway. He has parked it for the evening. Sacco trying to reel in Caulfield. He's going to get down to the inside of Caulfield. Here we go, battle for second. He's going to try to use Luke Smith as a pick. Nick Sacco to the inside. He'll go to second. Caulfield goes back to third.
Yeah, Buzzy was a little slow on that one, unless he had an incident just before there, and he needed to absolutely get out of the way there because they were approaching that car like your grandma was driving down the I-95 at 10 miles per hour, and everybody else is doing 160, so a little bit of a scary moment, but they did manage to navigate past Buzzy, and Buzzy has pulled it over and retired this one. Nick Sacco, she's out on a rampage, currently trying to fight for that P2 position, may very much have it there. Next up on his hit list is the Tiny Horse, but the Tiny Horse has a gap of just over 1 second, Jacob.
Yeah, Sacco's really putting down the laps right here, trying to get around that lap traffic. He shot around Edwards and at Osborne. Sacco clear, all clear. He's got nothing in between him and Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. Well, now he's got to have one. The lap truck of the animal, Keith Bradley, will be in between them. But Sacco's starting to put down some laps. He's got to put them down just a little bit faster right here. Gets about a 10th a lap. And then he'll be able to get to the back door of Tiny Horse. He got around Bradley, so Sacco has got nobody in between him and Tiny Horse, but check this out. Back here, Cofield trying to work his way around Brady LaBeouf and also work his way around Kevin Edwards. Remember, Brady LaBeouf just pitted not too long ago, so he has fresher tires than these other guys that's up here racing it out. And there you see Wood trying to close the gap and try to go after Cofield to get that podium spot.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they maybe should have gone down a little bit earlier, because you want to be able to, you got your fresh boots on there and you're fast, you're going to be good, but at the same time, you don't have enough time. We have 8 laps to go, of course, and there was about 20 laps to go at that point when he did go down. You've got to allow yourself that enough time to make the gains. And this man is making the game. Nick now has got it just under shy of a second, give or take, because they have cleared that gaggle of cars that we saw that they had to clear for traffic, and look at that, just zooming by the 14 like he's standing still. That's the lap truck, but here it is, our race leader, 7 to go. Up the road, not much traffic, so it should be a nice little sprint. Just navigating past one truck isn't too much of a problem there, Jacob. It's navigating when you've got 3 or 4 battling that makes it difficult.
Yeah, I mean, and Nick Sacco's not really gaining any ground now on Tiny Horse. Ryan Johnson. Johnson up here hitting some pretty good laps. Right now hit a 25-2 that last time. Sacco got him by a 10th, so he is starting to close it ever so slightly, but I think he may end up running out of time unless he finds something absolutely driving the hell out of it. That 67 almost got up into the fence right there off of turn 2. He will keep it straight, though, and set his sights on Tiny Horse. He got another 10th on him right here. Sacco really closing the gap right here. 5 laps to go. He's got to find a little bit more, though, Dean. Just getting a 10th of a lap, that's not going to do it.
No, but you got to keep applying the pressure. That's all you can do. Just drive the pants off that and just see if you can force Ryan Johnson into a mistake, which doesn't occur very often when RJ's in the lead of this run, as you can see, and he'll just have a couple single cars to navigate up the road. That shouldn't be too much of a problem for traffic. 4 to go. Still, the battle for P4 and 5 is still brewing up there between MDW and Matt Lee. They got caught in a bit of that traffic there earlier too, Jacob, and they had to lift off a little bit to try to navigate their way through there. But can Nick hunt down? He shaved a little bit more off there. It's down to 7/10, Jacob. And look at that now, because Brady's not going to be easy to get past, because once again, you just mentioned Brady LaBeouf. You can see the truck up the road there is on the same pace, if not quicker, than our leaders.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. And there you see Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson starting to catch a little bit more lap traffic. Next one he's going to catch is Brian Chu in the 51. 7 laps down, sitting back in the 26th spot. So Tiny Horse got to work some kind of way right here on LaBeouf on those fresher tires. He's trying to get back on the lead lap. Now he's going to end up being right in behind Chu. LaBeouf trying to figure out a way around him, and that will close the gap. Sacco down to under half a second, getting very close right here. He can see Tiny Horse up there, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to have to get Tiny Horse to get up into the fence or something coming around this time. White flag lap. LaBeouf racing with Tiny Horse, and that will be the white flag lap here tonight at the Rockingham for the SimRaceRub.com 200. Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson trying to hold on. One gets into the wall. Brandon New up the road. Tiny Horse man at the left out of the gas finds a way down the bottom side, and that'll be all she wrote. Tiny Horse off 3 and 4. Ryan Johnson will win here tonight at Rockingham, the SimRaceRub.com 200. Johnson wins it. Sacco gets second. Jonathan Cofield will get third. Matthew David Wood will get fourth. And Matt Lee will round out the top 5. What a finish.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson also, I think, put himself in a good position there, because he was using Brady basically as a blocker, essentially, wasn't it? So he was just side by side with him, and then at the same, but it would have made it very difficult for Nick Sacco to actually try to get the overtake. It was only when Ryan Johnson had to actually go single file there would open up the door, but it was a day late, dollar short anyway. That one, RJ gets the win.
And there he goes with the world-famous reverse victory lap that he likes to do. Obviously, going to flip it around backwards, throw it in reverse, and drive around the track backwards. I would love to see him try to do that at Talladega. I don't think he's ever won at Talladega, Dean, but that would be a trip.
At Long Beach. That'd be fun.
That would be a trip right there to go around this sucker, or to go around a road course backwards if he was to win it. Hey, think about it. Chicago Street Course coming up here very, very soon. Obviously, for the Monday night series, I believe it's next Monday night. So if you end up winning that one right there, have to drive it around backwards. That'd be pretty cool to see. Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson, he ends up getting the win here tonight. Nick Sacco second, Jonathan Cofield third. We'll talk to those drivers here in just a little bit. Matthew David Wood will get third, Lee fourth. Or Matt Lee will get fifth, excuse me. Matt Cherry will get sixth, Tristan Bruce seventh. Dustin Scruggs will get eighth, Matthew Montgomery will get ninth, Stephen Gregory will round out the top 10. Devin Painter, who had that little bit of an incident earlier on, started 39th. He comes home 11th. Good drive for him. Your Martinsville winner, Dylan Cardenas, will finish 12th, and Brady LaBeouf, who raced around, was able to get back on the lead lap. He will finish 13th. Last driver to finish on the lead lap. John Freeman, all these drivers one lap down or more. John Freeman will end up finishing 14th, with Luke Smith finishing in 15th. Kevin Edwards will get 16th. Ed Osborne 17th. Stephen Thomas is 18th. Huck Wigginton will get 19th. And Cody Knott will finish 20th. Adam Newton will get 21st, 22nd to Keith Bradley, 23rd to Raul Meza. Brandon New will get 24th. Thomas Kohick 25th. Brian Chu 26th. Brandon Broadfoot, James Beard, Matthew Cummins, Buzzy Mongo to top 30. Rest of the field, Jeff Merck, Chris Blanchard, Lucas Lyons, Adam Newbert, Dane Hagan, Tyler Daniels, Holden McGill, Jordan Durasic, Kyle Hess, Isaac Bevan, and Jeffrey Sickles, the 41 drivers who took a time here tonight. Robbie Richards, Joshua Suss, your race directors, and there's Dean Hopton, obviously our great producer here with Nazareth. Well, folks, we're going to take that quick commercial break, round up them podium finishers. Don't go anywhere. You've been watching the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series live here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
And folks, we're back here at Rockingham. Got the podium finishers up here in the booth. We're going to start, as always, with the winner. Here tonight at Rockingham, Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson gets it done. Ryan, congratulations on the win. Tell us about it, buddy, because it started off kind of crazy, and then it actually turned out to be a good race right there at the end.
Oh, yeah, man. If we could have had some more green, I think it would have been a little calmer of a race, but I don't even know what to say. I know I got into some stuff tonight. I wasn't trying to, and I haven't looked at it. I got to go back and watch what happened. But, I mean, apologies to people that, think I wrecked them or whatever happened. It's never my intention. It was just, man, it was a slugfest. It felt like the whole time. I mean, you're trying to keep your tires, but at the same time, so many different strategies and people coming and going. And I mean, there was multiple screw ups, even on like restarts and whatnot tonight. So it was a wild one to say the least. I'm glad we got it. It was fun battling Nick there. I knew at that last pit stop, it was going to be close between me and him, and he stayed out longer than me. I didn't have any more fuel. Otherwise I'd have stayed out longer, but it was good racing him and a bunch of the other guys up front for the most part tonight.
Dean, you got anything for
Well,
Ryan?
I guess you're quite lucky it didn't go in a couple green-white checkers, didn't it, there, Ryan? If you didn't have any gasoline left, then you'll have to make the decision to go down a pit road. But, yeah, absolutely great battling towards the end there. with Nick, and you also had the boss man Brady LaBeouf there side by side, of course, because I think he had the fresh tires when he came out of the pit road. Was it your intention to kind of use him as a blocker, perhaps, so that Nick couldn't find a way around you?
No, to be honest, that didn't even cross my mind. But I saw him catch Nick, and I was like, well, maybe he'll slow him down a little bit, trying to get around him. Maybe he'll catch him in a bad spot. And then, well, it didn't seem like it. And then Nick started gaining on me again. And when Brady was right behind me, I'm like, go low, stay low. Like that way he could just go around me and I can run my line. And then, holy crap, that last lap, I didn't know where to go. It was, it was just all bunches of trucks in front of me. I was just trying not to hit anybody and make it to the line first still. But yeah, Brady was coming and I tried to let him go. So I didn't have to fight with him.
And Ryan, final question, and then lead that one into your sponsors and your shout outs. But, you sound like you're about give out. Is it the track that will absolutely wear you out? Because obviously we've watched a bunch of old races here. You have, I have, everybody has. But just how worn out this track is and just how you got to literally drive the truck or drive whatever you're driving to get around it, to be able to try to make laps and try to win. Is it the track? Is it just, just how hard it is to get around this place? It is just wore you out that much?
I guess no. I think if you're talking about the way I'm talking, it's probably because of my heart rate on that last lap with Brady and the lap trucks in the way. I was a little nervous, so trying to calm down from that. But this track will wear you out. There's it's so bumpy, but that's what I love about it. It's kind of similar to like Legacy Atlanta. All the old tracks they make it so much more fun to drive and race on, because you're not only battling, your car, you're battling the people around you and you're battling the track. And it just, when it all comes together, there's so much going on. Your mind is going a mile a minute, and it's just so much fun. I love Rockingham, so I'm glad I was able to get one here. But I got to thank Brady and everybody at NASRA putting this on. You guys up in the booth for broadcasting. Josh Suss and Blue Lights putting this team together. My teammates had some pretty unfortunate nights tonight, but we'll come back next week. And our sponsors, Merce Magical Creations, Concerns of Police Survivors, Starbase 1552 Comics, Florida Cabinet Distributors for being on my truck all season, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing and Cofield Supply and Service, and all the drivers for a good run to the end. That was the most fun of the race, I'd say.
Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, he loves the old surface here at Rockingham, buddy. You won't be too happy about it whenever they update it and you end up getting the repave out of it, I'm sure. But Ryan, congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week, bud.
You are absolutely correct, but thank you, buddy.
That was Tiny Horse. Ryan Johnson gets the win here tonight. We'll go to our second place finisher. Mr. Sacco, Nick Sacco, comes home second here tonight. Nick, I'm telling you, buddy, you give it a whale of a ride, buddy. He was reeling him in. Did you need a couple of more laps to get to him, or what else did you need to be able to try to catch Ryan?
Yes, to be honest with you.
The what's
Do
right,
what now?
Nick?
Nick, you got a copy, buddy? Dean, can you hear it?
No. Do you have a push to talk on, Nick? We kind of got you for a little bit there and cut out. Or did he? Not quite sure.
All right, we'll see if we can get Nick back here in just a second. We'll see if we can go to our third place finisher. We'll jump over to Jonathan Cofield. Comes home third here tonight, and obviously from Munford, Alabama. Jonathan, it looked like you was going to be in a pretty prime position. You and Matt Lee, y'all up there racing it out, and then all of a sudden here comes Tiny Horse and Sacco. What else? Third place ain't that bad, but what else could you have done to try to win it here tonight?
I had more fuel where I could have pitted later. I think they pitted 4 or 5 laps after we had to pit. So yeah, just the fresh tires run us down, and I was trying to race the 44 pretty hard to get the lead like I did the last run. He kind of gave me I guess a
I guess he was happy when I took the lead there. He kind of punted me into turn one. I don't know if I raced him too hard or what, but apologies if I did. But yeah, it's a good race. I love this track, man. It's one of my favorite tracks. Finished ninth at Bristol last week and top 3 here. Finally turning this Friday season around.
Dean, you got anything for him?
Oh, you Caulfield, you were right in the hot zone of most of the racing here tonight, so it was certainly fun to see you up there. Did a door banging with the drivers there. How much of a fun race it was, as you heard Ryan Johnson was saying, it was all bumpy, classic track. Is this one that you also like as well too? And did you enjoy yourself tonight?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks. I kind of enjoyed myself and I kind of didn't. I didn't take tires until the second stage, sometime around the second stage. Got to lead on had the old tires and got to lead, and then I don't know if we went 3 wide or what happened when Merck got into us. Had that big pile up, but every wreck after that I got involved. I went from 5 minutes of damage to 30 seconds of damage to I think the last time was a minute of damage. Just got caught back up there in the field trying to claw my way back up, and finally got up to the front and started having fun again.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Have a little fun. And next week we're going to someplace I absolutely hate, which is Watkins Glen, a road course. Obviously, Dean absolutely loves these road courses. I hate them, but we have seen you do pretty good at Watkins Glen in the past. Is that a race that you're looking forward to? And then after that, go ahead and segue into your sponsors and your shout-outs.
Yeah, I think I won there in the DSR Electric Series on Monday. But yeah, I've been getting better and better at road courses. Certain tracks I don't like, but Watkins Glen I've run time and time again. Just keep getting better at it. It'd be interesting to see who's the road guys in here. I haven't seen any of these guys run on the road course, so should be interesting. I hope I get another podium. Like I said, trying to turn the season around. Had a lot of bad luck in the beginning part, and like I said, top 10 last week. On the podium this week. Maybe we can keep it going. But I want to thank everybody at Nazareth, Brady LaBeouf, Mr. Just all the guys in here that keep all these different leagues together. I know we're down to 2 right now. Probably going to get the Wednesday ones and Thursday ones back running pretty soon, so they'll have their hands full. Just you guys for doing the broadcast. Everybody at Blue Line for letting me hang out in the team chat. Good to have somebody to at least talk to when you're doing these races. Cofield Supply and Service on the truck. Cofield Asphalt Refinishing. SM Racing Products. You ain't got a button box. Go check them guys out. Type in Bandits 1. Save yourself a little money.
Well, Jonathan Cofield comes home third here tonight at Rockingham. Jonathan, buddy, appreciate your time. And we'll see you at that road course that I hate, Watkins Glen. We'll see you there next Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That was Jonathan Cofield. Tried to get a hold of Nick Sacco. Looks like he is not in here anymore. So we'll just go ahead and we'll just wrap it up right here. Dean, final thoughts on a wild one here tonight at Rockingham.
When we got going, it was a lot of fun. But 17 cautions, quite too many actually, just drawed it on a bit. And a lot of drivers were involved in that one. As you did here too, a lot of drivers had some repairs. They chipped them out. They fought their way back through the field there when they could, of course. Some drivers had too much damage. We had technical issues as well, too. So literally had technical retirements as well for some big names that we saw there. But that's motor racing, my friend. As you mentioned, we will go left and right next week, which we're going to come down to that qualifying, be very important as well, too, in the Glen, because you don't want to have to be in the mid-pack trying to fight your way back up to the field, because it's not as easy to overtake as it necessarily is. But that's that results there on the screen there, Jacob. And I do apologize once again for the little bit of graphic errors and things like that this evening. iRacing once again has done a little update.
Hey, Jacob.
Not informed anybody about that, so we'll get it fixed for upcoming the DSR Electric on Monday, Jacob.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Jonathan, you got anything, buddy?
Yeah, Nick Sacco saying pull him back in. He's not sure what happened.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see if we can bring Mr. Sacco back in here real quick, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Nick Sacco coming home second here tonight, buddy. Nick, buddy, I'm telling you what. I mean, you look like you was going to have a shot right there at Ryan Johnson. I mean, did you just need a couple of more laps to get to him?
Yeah, I kind of needed him to run out of gas. So you guys can hear me though this time,
Yes,
right?
we can. Yeah, Nick.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I honestly, I basically wore the right front out. It was dead by the end of the race. So once I got to him, there was probably no way of getting around him. But the lap traffic probably would have helped. But I think, I wore everything out trying to get to him on those last few laps. So it would have been tough.
Dane, you got anything for
that
Nick?
you did, Nick. I mean, exactly. You just threw everything in the kitchen sink and at him and that traffic. By the way, speaking of that traffic, of course, you guys had to navigate not just at the final dying stage of that race, but you had to navigate a lot of drivers that were all battling it out too in their own traffic there. How tough was that? Like stepping around those landmines?
I mean, it was tough for me because I had an EOL halfway through the race. So I think going into this, we had 2 EOLs before we got disqualified. So I was really trying to be careful the whole second half of the race. But on new tires, it was easy as long as I can get a run out of the corner. I could pick off 1 or 2 at a time. But as the tires began to wear, I mean, everything got really difficult. And at that point, I was just trying to hold my position and hope that Ryan can make a mistake, but he obviously didn't. So, I mean, happy with second. It's been kind of tough running so far this year. I've kind of gotten a few good few good finishes together the last few weeks, but need that win.
I mean, Dick, and you talked about that. I ask you this, and then you can transition to your sponsors and everything. But you talked about it. It has been a kind of a slow climb, much like what Jonathan Cofield was saying. It has been a slow climb trying to get back into the hunt, and and everything else. I mean, do you feel like just these good finishes right here will be enough to get you in, or are you going to try to gamble here over the next couple of weeks and say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go for a win. I'm not worried about trying to get podiums. I want to win the race.
I think you always want to win the race. I feel like I think the consistent finishes will be enough in the end, but honestly, I don't really think about that too much while I'm racing. I take it easy the first half of the race normally, just try to save tires, and I'm not a very aggressive driver, so I save it for the end normally, but it's always to win the race. So got to thank Eric Zimmerman for inviting me to come on board. I feel like the difference in this league from when I raced it a few years back to now, I mean, it's night and day different. I mean, this thing has just grown so much since I've been here. So for him to invite me back was awesome. But the Buddy Project has always been on the truck, so it's cool to have them back on. E-Cycle for Autism. But again, got to thank Eric in the end for inviting me over. So
Nick Sacco, Mr. Sacco comes home second here tonight, buddy. Congratulations on the second place finish. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you at Watkins Glen next week, bud.
of course, man. Thanks so much. Appreciate you guys.
That was Nick Sacco. We already got Dean's take on it. There you see the schedule. Go ahead, put a check mark next to Rockingham. We got Watkins Glen, Texas, next 2 weeks. It's going to be a good one, obviously. Rockingham, I love this place, old school racing. Much like what Ryan Johnson was saying earlier, Legacy Atlanta, some of those old tracks that's hard to race on. That's where you saw it here tonight. And I think a lot of that had to do with why you had some of these cautions. A lot of it had to do with impatient drivers, in my opinion. But at the same time, this place is hard to get around. I've raced here before a couple of times, and I never can finish the race. So that ought to tell you a little bit on it. I'm not as good as some of these other guys, but I'm just giving you a heads up on it. But folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast. Obviously, want to thank congratulations to Ryan Johnson for getting the win here tonight. We want to thank all of our great sponsors, obviously Starbase 1552 Comics, Premier Racing Setups, Merch Magical Creations, DSR Electric, obviously Blanchard's Towing for everything that they do, TLC, SimRacerHub.com for the title sponsor of the race. And obviously, points poppers for the instant replay. Serve Pro, they got the money's worth here tonight with all the cautions, and obviously concerns of police survivors for everything that they do here with Nazareth. And obviously, I back the blue 9 times out of 10 every single day of the week. Shout out to Bree LaBeouf, Cody Knott for always allowing us to be ourselves. The fans for always coming out in big numbers, and the drivers for always putting on a fantastic show, giving us something to talk about on Mondays and Friday nights, and hopefully 5 nights a week here coming up very soon. For the Australian Dean Hopton Bengals, I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Say it as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast. And folks, it's going to get good next week. These drivers may love it. Dean may love it. Y'all may love it. I kind of hate it, but it always puts on a hell of a show with Nazra. We're going road course racing. Watkins Glen International. It's going to be a good one. Cofield won it in the DSR Legend Truck Series. Can he go for the sweep with the 2 Truck Series here with Nazra? You have to find out. Next Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live and only on the Nazra 360 Racing Network. Have a very happy Easter weekend, and we'll see you next Friday night in New York at Watkins Glen. Be safe.